Mike,
Meanwhile,
how
yeah,
are you?
sorry.
How are you, man?
Good, good.
So we're moving to Texas.
Exactly.
I keep talking about it. One day we're gonna fucking do it. But I want to show you this. I saw this the other day. One of the real estate pages I follow.
Mhm.
I don't know. Let me see exactly here. So I'm going to share this. This is McAllen, Texas. Okay, so I'm going to expand this a little bit so I know where the fuck it is.
Mhm.
Where the fuck is Dallas? That way I know where I am. Oh, it's way, way south. Oh, on the border. I don't think I want to live down there. I was thinking.
It's a little cartelly.
Yeah.
Ooh, with a hint of cartel.
Yeah, yeah. No wonder the house is so cheap.
So, like,
Okay.
please move here.
Because
Fucking
like
please move here.
no, because like look at this fucking house, man. This
Those are
400.
the convenient tunnel, a convenient tunnel to Mexico.
Yeah. This house is look at this fuck. This is
Amazing.
400. This is 400 grand. If you bought this here, it would be like 1.2 million. Look at this
Wow.
shit. I mean, it's a tiny backyard, so that kind of blows. But like the house
Yeah, but you
itself,
look at all the land you got around you, though. You probably walk down the street, there's a fucking field.
or cartel.
Yeah, or like, yeah, smugglers. They're nice guys, though.
But like, look at these fucking houses, though, man.
You're sleeping one night, your floorboard just opens up. You're like, "Hola."
Yeah. Here, wait. I wanna watch. Let's see this. I got Katy, Texas.
I think I've heard of that.
So Katy, Texas is right outside of Houston. Here,
Yeah, that's what I've heard of it. I think you know James Garland.
No, I don't.
James watches the show.
Look at this is so Houston here, obviously. And then Katie's right here outside of it. I think I rode through it actually when I was there riding my motorcycle. But the houses there are like, look at 475.
Yeah, they're monsters.
Look at this, 415. Nice pool in the backyard, 515.
When I went to Houston, I visited. I don't know if you see that James. You guys know who James Garland is? And he brought me down. Like I came down there and trained, and he lives like just outside Houston in a fucking awesome community. His house is fucking massive, and I was like, "What he's paying to live there?" I'm like what I'm paying here to live in fucking Toronto and fucking nothing. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't like this. Like, I like a little bit of privacy, right? So you got nothing. Like, you got this little box. This feels like Toronto living, or like not Toronto, but like Milton. It's like you got a little. It's not bad. If
I don't ever really leave my house, so there's a lot of room inside that box for me to never come out.
Yeah, I want more land. Look at this. This is 1.6 though. Look at this fucking thing.
What is it in Texas though? Everyone thinks it's so great because of the tax situation, but I heard the property taxes are fucking astronomical.
I don't know.
That's how they get people.
I don't know if that's why. I think it's great. I just want to live there because I like the state. I like the politics of the state. I have friends that live down. I got friends that live down there. It's a little bit warmer weather than where we live. This is kind of like this is kind of like where I live now. It's on a little man-made lake. Yeah, I could. But 1.6 is not cheap.
Well, US too.
Yeah, so it's like 2 million.
It's like 35 million Canadian right there.
Yeah, but look how nice this fucking house is, man.
Sometimes when I look at places like that, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, how much furniture I might have to buy to fucking fill that thing? Because I'm never going to use it. I just have vacant rooms that I slowly put things in.
I got to be honest, not to sound like an asshole, but like that's kind of like my house. So we have like a house that's on 2 lots, and it was originally supposed to be a ranch, and then they built an upstairs. So I have like 3 rooms upstairs, and my brother-in-law stays in one, and there's 2 empty rooms that I just don't do anything. And they're guest rooms. But well, guys, this podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, and if you use my code RBP, you'll get 20% off your order plus free shipping. Guys, you can't beat the deal. Or if you click manscaped.com/RBP, it'll take you right to this page, and it will apply the code automatically. See here, it says, congratulations, your discount 20% off plus free shipping from the Real Bodybuilding Podcast will be applied at checkout. And guys, I want to show you this because this thing right here is the beard trimmer. It's actually my favorite product they make. The entire beard kit. So we just click out of this right here. We go to products, and then we go to the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. If you go to this, It literally has everything. This beard shampoo and this brush and this balm I use every day. This is a beard oil. This is the balm and conditioner. I don't use those as much, even though they're great. But this brush, the beard oil, and the beard shampoo and this trimmer have been absolute lifesavers. Guys, $140. You take 20% off that, plus free shipping. Use my code RBP, or like I said, click the link, manscaped.com/RBP. Get the savings, guys. Get the free shipping. And honestly, your beard will never look better. Thanks, guys. I said to Summer, I said, we have like too much house, man. I think we need to like sell the house.
I didn't know Paul was going to be on. I'm signing off.
Sorry, Mike. Did I offend you? Oh, I didn't wear my shirt tonight.
You have to wear it no matter what.
Tile foot?
Yeah.
The tile foot?
That I haven't that one or the hyper responder one.
Hyper responder. So what's going on, Paulie? We're talking about moving to Texas. Are you coming?
Texas, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could work at the other border.
Yeah, the Mexican border. I don't want to work there. That sounds like a fucking hellhole.
The safer border.
Paul.
Yeah, I kind of like my cushy job right now, where I don't know, say what I do. Stuart knows what I do at work.
Well, we can just get a winter home. That way you don't have to. You take a leave of absence.
Is that me with a bad connection?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Log off and log back on. So every week you have to do this.
But before it's because Tony was home on the computer too. I'm the only one on right now. I think it gets better as I go.
It just gets stronger.
Yeah, it does. It picks up. It kind of picks it up.
Is that like?
That's how it works.
Is that your theory?
Yeah. It kind of warms up a little bit.
Technology wizard over here.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's an older laptop.
Wait,
hold on, let me tap it.
Yeah.
No. That was totally like a dad thing. Let it warm up a little.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, now it's good. The fan just shut off.
Yesterday, I got to tell you, Mike, Paul pulled a move when we were driving.
Oh.
And he says
did he stop short with you?
No, he said, no. Hey, Ian, what's going on?
What's up, Ian?
So we're just talking about yesterday. Paul pulled a driving move that I have to tell you guys about, because Paul says it was right, and I definitely think it was wrong. So I want to run it by you guys.
Okay.
So we're driving down the road, and we go onto the off ramp, and after we get onto the off ramp veers to the right. Okay. It's one lane. It's one lane. You have to veer right.
Okay.
So Paul puts a signal on, and I'm like, Paul, why'd you put your fucking signal on? He's like, well, we're veering to the right. I said,
I'm technically doing the right thing, but it's like nobody does that, you know?
I made a lawful lane change, Ian.
But
no one's ever done that.
I did a proper lane change.
But that's not a lane change. That's the road is going that way.
See, I started using my blinker though right when I was starting my turn. So I wanted to let the car behind me know that I'm turning off.
But we were already on the off ramp when you put your signal.
Yeah, we weren't. I don't think we were approaching. We were approaching the off ramp.
Well, we have the guy who's behind you on tonight, so click on the.
Ian, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good. What are you guys saying?
Are you recovering from show? Are you kind of stabilizing? What are you doing? No, you're getting ready to leave.
Yeah, I'm going back to the States on Tuesday.
Yeah, fuck. It's like not even a week.
Yeah, the 20th. Yeah, next week.
So I'm curious, what does post show, and I should know this by now because we've been doing this for so long, but what does post show look like for you? Is it any junk food? Is it just straight back to diet? Stop fixing your hair. Your hair's good.
Yeah, sorry.
Lots of chocolate.
I mean, like I ate with you guys. I ate with you guys. The next day, I honestly ate like 2 meals. Like I ate like Subway on the drive home. I had like a foot-long Subway sub on the drive home on one of the en routes.
Yeah. And
then I think we might have gone out and got something to eat that night. I can't quite remember, but I really didn't eat much. And then I really got back on diet the next day after that. And I like ate 5 clean meals and ate like 1 shitty meal till probably Wednesday. And then like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was like 100%. Then I had like a little bit, a couple things here and there, like on just 1 meal I would replace like say if one of my meals I'd replace with like fucking getting like like fucking Thai Express or some bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
And then maybe have like a little bit of ice cream with it. But I've only done that like maybe twice. I'm only 6 pounds up from stage weight, 7 pounds.
Yeah, so you have a little bit of junk here and there, but most of you're saying basically 90% of the time you're on diet.
Yeah, because I have a meal prep company, so it's like the food's here. If I don't eat it, it's no good. Like I place my order for the week, I eat them, and you know I don't want to like let it go to waste, so I eat them.
Who's your meal prep company in Toronto, in Ottawa?
It's literally called Meal Prep Ottawa.
Oh, okay. Do
Yeah,
you have one?
original.
Do you have one in Florida too?
I don't yet, because when I was working with Patrick, like it was all the raw weights, right? And that's obviously hard to do with a meal prep company. It needs to be cooked weight to be with a meal prep company.
Yeah.
But one of my buddies down there had reached out to me because he saw I was using this company in Ottawa, and he's like, "Hey, I got a really good company in like that Stewart, Palm City area." So he recommended a place. So I'll holler at them before I go down and get my meals all set up.
Anybody in Stewart, Florida, Ian needs a food sponsor.
Yeah, free food or don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Free food.
Just feed me.
Free food plus pay. You have to pay him as well.
Yeah, and I'll post you like once every 2.5 weeks, maybe.
On a story. Only a story.
Eat your food, you pay me.
That's it.
On the story.
Um,
but other than that, I mean, no trading. It's been good.
Good.
Still doing cardio every morning, kind of sticking on my groove. Matt has me doing like sets of 25, just like give my joints and like everything kind of a break, tendons, ligaments. So like not anything crazy hard on my nervous system or on my body, but it actually feels nice. Like you can fucking pump through these workouts so fast when the reps are so high, like the recovery between sets, like you don't need 5 minutes, even though it's high reps, like it's no taxation on your nervous system or like your system. So
yeah.
I've been getting good pumps and enjoying the workouts and kind of just doing my thing, you know, and then
So
we'll kind of hit back at it beginning of July.
So what is the
Speaking of
plan?
your training, sorry, you go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Ian. All right, go ahead, Mike.
I want to say, like, speaking of your training, it got me thinking. Mark's been at our gym,
Yeah.
and it's like I've only seen him in your videos, and he like hearing him like bark the whole time. It actually makes me wish I could lift heavy weights.
He's got a
It's
very
like the
good,
most
very
distinct
distinctive-
fucking like I don't know what.
Come on.
I hear him when like I'm training people, and I looked over, and he was training with Urs. Is that how you say Urs's name?
Yeah.
And he was like, they were doing adductor, and it was the most intense adductor I'd ever seen. I was like, what? There's 3 guys over there. He's like, come on. I'm like, what?
Come on.
Fuck, bro? Like,
One more.
adductor. I was like, this is the best set I've ever seen.
He's a great training partner, man. I mean, he's one of them. Sure.
So he's cool. Like I've just never been around. Like I've seen him here and there, but I was like, I've seen the videos, and I started hearing the bark, and even my clients are like, "Who's that kid?" I'm like, I automatically think back to Dorian with that dude he trained with in Blood and Guts. The
Leroy.
same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Leroy.
Leroy.
Yeah,
Leroy.
I get that comment all the times on my videos. People be like fucking this is Leroy 2.0 here. Or it's either people that like fucking hate it because he films me while he also speaks.
So it's right in the mic.
So it's behind the camera, and people are like, yo, tell this motherfucker to shut the fuck up. And I'm like, nah, you can fucking not watch my videos because he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. So what do you think Matt has planned for you? Like, are you guys trying to increase weight? Like what, you were 255 or something like that in Toronto?
Yeah, like mid to high 250s, yeah.
So are you guys trying to actually put on some tissue, or what is the goal?
It's hard to say, man. Like I'm fucking 15 years into my career. Like how much tissue am I going to put on between me and now and November?
Yeah.
Let's be serious. What, like fucking 300 grams, you know?
Yeah.
So, I think at this point, it's really, I think properly placed improvements can do a lot for a physique.
Yeah.
You know, I think what I've lost over the last while, and I think it's just really due to training and a little bit of a issue I've had in my elbow too, just like with this one arm I can't really extend properly. It's a mechanical issue. It's like the joint. I have like some calcification in the joint, which I have been working on, but that's the side I hit my side tricep on.
Yeah.
So to get full extension in that elbow, I can't train that outer head. Like I can't even contract it properly. So I've been doing a lot of physio, get that straightened back out. And obviously I think getting a little more sweep and round to the triceps will do a lot for my physique. You know, my side chest, my side tricep are like some of my best poses. So if I'm adding to those with more tricep, I think that'll do a lot.
So is there anything, so let me ask you more.
I think it's really like, it's just going to be like, you know, training nitpicky stuff and keeping me within striking range. Like I think for me to push up past like 270 will not be conducive. I think for me, once I've got lean, I generally get better. Like when my body's kind of ramped up and my appetite's high and my training and, my productivity, throughout the day is higher. I think I function a little better. So we'll kind of try and keep in that zone where my body's really optimized like that, because we've already dieted down. So let's keep that to some extent. And then just try and make the improvements where we can in there,
Is there any chance that you're going to do another show?
No.
No chance at all.
I mean, unless you have a show this year, but no. If you do your
okay.
show this year, I'll do it. But other than that, no, I'm not competing.
So let me ask you this. Because you have some strong points, some strong body parts and some weak body parts.
Sure.
Are you increasing frequency on the weak body parts and scaling down frequency on the stronger body part? Or like, how are you,
it's going to be energy allocation, obviously, like certain things can probably take a little bit of the back seat for a while. And I think my chest and my arms could do a little more frequency on there, especially my triceps and my chest. I think certain parts, like, I don't think I need to be going fucking hammering my legs like 3 times a week or anything.
Yeah.
And I think my back has made a lot of improvements in certain spots of it. I think my lower back and erectors could use a little more meat on them to kind of match the upper back and mid back thickness and width I have.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like, if you do a little bit of properly placed improvements, I think it can make an appearance of 5 to 10 pounds of tissue on a physique that's already the size of mine. So I think at this point, it's not like, look, I mean, even Jay Cutler said his best years he's competing at 255. Do I think I need to be 10 pounds heavier than Cutler? Clearly not,
No, yeah, of course.
So I don't need to be 270 on stage at 5'9", 5'10". Like, I don't think that is by any means what I need my physique. I just need improvements in the right places,
So if you've talked to, I don't know if you've talked to Matt at length about this or not, but like, have you guys considered, and I'm just asking just to see, because like you said, you've been at your career for 15 years now. So like, have you guys thought of like, hey, we should do something different, try a totally different training style? Have you thought of anything like that? Or are you like,
I mean, look, this is definitely something that I've explored. I've been doing the like high intensity, low volume thing for a while. And I think I'm going to start to transition a little more volume into that.
Yeah.
Cause like, look, I've been one of the strongest bodybuilders ever. Do I think I'm going to continue to get stronger progressively forever and keep improving like that? No, I think at this point now it's exercise selection and execution. And really that's what it's going to come down to, and a little more volume and frequency in the spots where I need it. So I think now it's really going to have to be like kind of nitpicky tailoring stuff to really get what we want out of it. And I think for me also at this point in my career, like the little thing with my chest, like that was just a thing of poor diligence with my own therapy and stuff like that, because like I literally went and got massage today and like scraped and fucking broke that up, and in one session it was gone.
Yeah.
Like, I think if stuff like that, I could have prevented having any commentary about that if I'd just been more diligent with, like, especially, look, I'm still young, like I'm only 32, like I'm getting into my prime age wise, but I'm very aged in terms of how long I've been actually.
You turned pro. I turned pro at 21.
Yeah, I turned pro like almost a decade ago. I've been competing for 15 years, so like, even though I'm young compared to a lot of the guys, I have a lot of age in terms of my body's been under this a long time. So, I think being very diligent with stuff like that, like my massage therapy, chiropractics, like all that kind of stuff is going to be even more important now. And making sure that like, little nagging things aren't restricting training like my elbow or whatever. And that are going to, over long periods of time, render weak spots that weren't necessarily weak spots in the past. Like my triceps, there's no atrophy there because of an injury or anything like that. It's just like little kind of nitpicky things that have, I've changed my style of training or reduced arm volume. And then my elbow's a little funky, but nothing that's not fixable. And I just, let those things get away from me. And then once you get obviously commentary on stage, you're like, all right, well, it's time to fucking get serious here.
That's actually when I talked to Rami in New York. He was at Bev's the one day we were there, and I just asked him how he was doing, and he said, I'm doing good. I asked him how he's doing mentally, just because a lot of talk and chatter, and it gets to people. And
he sent me a good long voice note after Toronto.
Did he?
He does almost all my shows, but this was obviously one that. He felt he could connect to me a little more on,
Yeah, that's great.
Like, so he, you could tell there was a little emotion behind what the voice note he was saying to me for sure. Like he was like, fuck man, I kind of feel where you're coming from here. It's like you're doing everything. And even when you do win, he's like, cause he wasn't winning when he was getting necessarily shit on. I'm still winning and I'm getting shit on, So, so that's obviously a little bit different, but yeah.
I asked him, I asked him about his physique, and he was telling me he's actually been suffering some really bad elbow pain in both elbows.
Mm-hmm.
And so no, but what he's saying is like, because everybody's saying like, oh, the triceps atrophied, and they did. Like his triceps are smaller, and he knows that too. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was like an injury or something. He's like, I just can't train. He's like, my elbows are so inflamed, I can't train arms properly.
Yeah,
I mean, you were at a point. You were at that point for a while in your career, Fouad, where your elbows were really bad.
My left elbow held me back quite a bit.
What mine was kind of like a crescendo of events here. So first it started, my arms got to a point where they were like a strong point. So I really stopped doing an arm day. Yeah. And I just was doing like chest with tries, back with bis, because I needed more chest and back. I wanted to put more frequency into them and remove the arm day to shorten the split. And I did that for a few years, but you do that for a few years, then those parts improve, and my arms started to like slightly flatline. And then over time, and then over the last, I don't know, maybe 18 months, a year, this elbow, it's literally just like jammed up in the joint. Like, and I've been seeing physio the last couple of months, and he's like, it's like breaking up old concrete there, Yeah. Working and palpating it through ranges of motion. And because it hasn't been fully straight in a long time, then all the tendons and like ligaments and musculature around the area has tightened up to that shortened degree by a little bit. So now we've got all this shit.
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So now that the joint is all chipped away and that there's no creakiness or crunchiness in there like there was anymore. And I'm probably 92% straight. But now it's literally just musculature. And like I'm doing every day now where like I'll go into the gym and I hold like a 45-pound plate and just like let it dangle and really like stretch out those tendons and ligaments and everything in my forearm and bicep. And now like if I let that dangle for 10 seconds, I can get it completely straight. Yeah. And I also think it's things like order of operations. Like for me, I would always train triceps before biceps. Now I actually think to really warm up that elbow and get all those tendons, but actually doing biceps before triceps, because then when that's warmed up, I get a lot better extension.
Yeah.
I think it's also things like, I got away from doing the shit that built my triceps, like the fucking heavy close grip bench press, the heavy dips, like, and I started doing fucking fluffy arm stuff because I was doing them after my chest and after my back workouts. So it's like it was predominantly cable movements, which I think have a place and are absolutely good. But for me, especially, I think, I need to get back to what built them and what works,
Hey, have you, sorry, Mike, go ahead. You were going to say something.
No, I just saying that, like, maybe I know because you're such a strong presser, right? A lot of that compounding and like locking down on that joint can be affected by the fact that once you go to do tricep work, it's like my arm is used to being in such a contracted lockdown spot. Sure. It doesn't want to do this like extension shit because it's been so used to this like almost lockdown rigor mortis like state. Like I'm locked in all the time, right?
I want to know what the actual sad causation of my elbow issue is. And this sounds so fucking stupid as a bodybuilder you'd think it'd be training or hard work or fucking stress on it. It's from holding my goddamn cell phone, and it's from like on my couch.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Couch. I'll lay in front of my 90-inch TV and watch an entire movie on my cell phone.
Yeah, you're talking about that.
And I only hold it in my right arm. So like I'll lay on the couch and I hold my arm at 90 degrees like this, and I do that for 60 hours a week.
What's wrong with you?
Exactly. So then over time, it just like kind of calcified a bit in the joint there, and then everything kind of froze up. So now I've been like very conscious of like, okay, if I'm laying on the couch, I'm either fucking using a laptop or using the TV or holding it in my other arm or like resting it on a pillow or something. Because I know if I do that for a 2-hour movie, then when I try and move my arm after, I've lost like another little bit of straightness there. Excuse me.
Do you guys get pain in your elbows? Like you guys have pain? Do you get pain? Like what angle causes the most? Like straight, like overhead, down, or is there angles that don't hurt?
Skull crusher usually gets everybody.
That beats up everyone's elbows.
Yeah. See, right now my elbows feel perfect. Like I was doing skull crushers the other day, like heavy weight and heavy close grip bench, and like those all felt fine. Like my elbows are in a good spot to train them heavy. It's just when they weren't getting full extension, that one part, like if you see like when I do a back lat, the back of my tricep is fucking gigantic. Like
it's the front, the medial head. Yeah.
It's the outer head here.
Yeah.
It's mostly just on this arm that I hit my side tri and my side chest on where you're really seeing it,
So
my left arm is way better.
I'm trying
to do much cross body work?
Like with cables and stuff, you mean?
Like cross, like over down?
Not as much as I used to. I've started doing a little more of that. And I feel that I can definitely isolate that outer head a little bit more. But even then, when I can't get the full complete extension, like it's really hard to get that contraction there. Like it's definitely way better now than it was. But for a long time, no matter how hard I wanted, I couldn't even flex that tricep because there was just no mobility in the joint, you know?
Can I touch on something? So what is the machine? Does anybody, I forget the name of the fucking machine I used to get. It actually breaks up scar tissue. It's like they use a wand.
Shockwave.
Shockwave, yeah.
Ian, have you done shock?
That's what the physio guy was doing.
Yeah. That'll actually, I remember doing that for a number of months and actually did break up scar. It's the only thing that'll actually break up scar tissue.
So he would do shockwave, and then he would do like the deep needles that he would hook electrodes up to.
Yeah, I love that.
Like to loosen up everything in my forearm. So he would do one, then he would do like a lot of manual therapy and kind of move it through to kind of try and like break it up a bit. And then he would hook the electrodes up and let that kind of fuck around with the forearm for a bit. Mm-hmm. But I gained at least like 10 degrees back in the last, 4 to 6 weeks.
Can I touch on something Mike said? Also, this is something that took me so long to fucking realize. And I don't know if it's just because I'm stubborn or what, but like, so Paul was saying I had really bad elbows. And I remember the first time I started to get bad elbow pain, it was from doing heavy skull crushers. But later on in my career, it finally hit me that I'm like, I do super heavy fucking barbell press and dumbbell press and all these different presses. And then when I get to tricep day, I'm like, oh, I can't do triceps. But I thought it was the tricep movements that were fucking me up. And it took me a while to realize. So my chest was always so good. Once I scaled back on the weight of my pressing, I could train arms again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was
one of the times with like skull crusher too is that people they're not treating it like, how you would treat a pullover, like a Nautilus pullover, where you're I'm firing, like shoulder stays down and I pull down through lat.
Yeah.
It's the same with a skull crusher where it's like I want to start depressed on my shoulder and let my lat roll the chart back and then fire hand. I don't want to like punch. I want to let my lat and my chest go and then fire off.
Oh, I usually see what you're just saying.
I do it like Mike does it. Yeah.
I usually keep my elbows back in the stretched position.
Yeah, you can keep it back, but then you're also limiting where your extended point is under load, right? So
I'm not saying the way I do it's right. I'm just saying that's what I've actually learned to do to make my elbows feel better. Because I feel like when I'm going straight out, I get more elbow pain. If I take my arm and I move it back, so I'm kind of shooting the weight on like this angle.
Straight up, yeah.
Not straight up.
No, like this.
Yeah, like that. Like kind of like behind my head almost.
Yeah.
That I don't get any elbow pain when I do that, and I get a full stretch in the tricep. But I probably don't get as good a contraction.
There's not as much like shearing force directly down on the joint.
Right. Yeah.
It's funny because you guys have good lats too, right? And you understand your connection to lats. If you start pinning on that lat and letting the elbow, so it's like if I think about it as like I break elbow and then I roll. Yeah. I slide. I don't fire till this lat fires and then I squeeze.
Yeah, it's the same thing if you're doing a press down, right? You're going to press down, and when you come up, you're going to let it roll forward a bit.
Yeah, but for some reason, you guys know, like they get skull crushers and they're like off my forehead or like.
Well, because I think
it's like rigid.
Take the name too literally.
No. I don't think that's why. I think this is my opinion. Why? I think people are trying to be extra strict. So, like if you're doing a press downs,
that's a thing right now for sure.
If you're doing a press down, people will pin their elbows to their body and just move their forearms.
Yeah.
They don't understand that if I just swing this forward a little bit, I can get a stretch in my tricep.
Well, what's funny is when I look at the time when my tricep started to regress a little bit over the last like year and a half, it was when I started getting one, away from the exercises that built them, and two, really, really strict with my form, trying to make it better and compensate for the switch of exercise. So I'm like, man, I used to have fucking awesome arms. Why am I like, just get back to what I was doing.
Just do what you're doing.
More volume, do the exercise I was doing. Don't be so crazy fucking tight with your form,
This is going to drive you insane, Ian, but this goes to this point. So remember we had a conversation once and I said to you that not everything written in a book translates to real life.
Of course.
Yeah.
For sure, Brandon's going to cut the part of you eating a banana. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so we talked about... like we talked about, I don't believe that everything in a textbook translates to real life. This is something I've been doing again for the last couple of months. And so I have the opposite problem that you do. When my arms were good, my long head and the back sucked and the front was good. And I always used to do my press downs with my hands really close.
Yeah.
And I would roll my hands forward a little bit and come down and get a full squeeze. And the fucking, the front head of my triceps was like, it's on fire.
Yeah.
When I stopped doing that, I noticed I lost size on my triceps.
Yeah.
When I moved my hands out.
It's funny sometimes, like and I know we've gotten to debates about this, but like, look, I obviously understand, and I think people should try and be always learning and be progressive in their training, be students of the game. I think if you're just like stuck in your ways, I think that's not a good thing for anybody.
Agreed.
But I think sometimes we are trying to be so much students of the game, and we're trying to learn new things and do new things. Sometimes we get into these like routines of new fancy things and forget what just fucking got us there, you know? Yeah. Well, it's like my arms weren't a weak point until I changed something. And it's like, and then they became bad because I fucking changed something. It's like, why did I just keep it the goddamn same, you know?
But also I think sometimes in trying to be students of the game, people are scared to try other things. So like for me, for example, I knew this didn't feel as good for my triceps.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, but science and biology, whatever, says this is a better contraction.
Yep.
But if you try it for 6 months and it's not fucking working, then you gotta go back to what works for you.
I mean, yeah, exactly. For me now, like I have a long-term case study of, you know, enough time with change of exercise selection and, you know, ability to contract that tricep fully and see what it's done to my arm. So for me, I'm like, well, this is clear. Fucking need to go back to what I was doing, you know?
Mike, I'm curious what you think, since you're, you're
just, I've said stuff a lot recently. It's like, that's probably the worst term I can use because people hate it, but it's like people have become contraction whores in the sense that they just want to like feel this.
Yeah.
Like just want to feel that no matter what happens. And it's like this rigidness and then this like slamming back out to here. But it's like, you guys say, like, you know, there's a little bit of movement and there's a stretch on the tricep that's needed to elicit a full contraction, or that like this feeling without the horrible feeling of that, which is like your elbow locking and getting that pain in your elbow, right? So,
but I think the specific question I wanted to ask you, Mike, and you don't have to agree or disagree. Do you think that the reality and the textbook don't always match? Because it's something John used to always.
Well, I think that sometimes too people need to realize is like the textbook isn't done on guys like us.
It's also the textbook's not showing you. The textbook a lot of times is showing you where it started and where it began and where it ends.
Yeah.
And it doesn't explain this whole middle zone where it's like, I got a skull crusher. Like you're gonna lift your sternum. You should almost feel like you're like literally bench pressing.
Yeah.
That there's so much weight on your back of your traps and on your upper back that like you could tap your feet because everything's rocking through. Because like I don't want weight in my feet and ass doing it. I want it where I want the weight, right? So it's like you're gonna see that in the textbook, and it looks like I'm stable, but you're not telling people like, you know, as the bar falls behind you, shift your weight back into the upper bench and allow the weight to pull you and then rock up. They're just like boom, boom. When people are like, oh, boom, boom, like A to B, right?
The thing I've learned that's definitely the most with, I think it applies, like I said, you know, with that this information isn't necessarily done and made for guys like us, especially when it pertains to like nutrition and supplementation. You know, because I mean, there's studies are done on fucking normies. Like these are done on like Joe Schmo, 150 Joe Schmoes, and they lost 6 pounds of body fat, being from 29% body fat to 16, having no muscle mass whatsoever. It's like, that's not us. Like our bodies and, you know, the chemicals we're putting in at the level of training that we're doing at, I mean, how many things are so different compared to the average person? It's like this information doesn't necessarily, you need to, you know, look at it with a fine-tooth comb to be like, does this actually apply to who I am and what I do? Or is this something that applies to fucking normie Joe, you know?
You know what, a really good example of that, and I know I'm probably going to catch heat for this, but I don't care. A really good example of that is when they say like 1 gram of protein is all you need. 1 gram per pound is all you need. And I'm like, wait a minute.
And we all know from doing it that like you've done it and I've done it now with Matt and like, you know, done opposites of lower. 100% it makes a difference. Like more protein is better for sure. You know?
Yep.
I mean, obviously there's an upper limit where it's too much, but like I've gone all the way up to 2 grams per pound and I'm like, I fucking feel better. I look better. I'm stronger, like whatever. Yeah. And I don't want to make like, I don't want to equate it to my growth or success just because of that. But I've tried low amounts and I've tried high amounts and I can feel the difference. So this is one of those things that like textbook doesn't necessarily match. Sorry, Paul, go ahead.
And it's like weird things, like even just like in the look of your muscle, like the just, even if it's like you're not gaining pounds of muscle, say the weight is the same, just the look is different. I don't know.
It's a different look.
It's a look level of like a roundness and like kind of fullness and like a hardness to the muscle that when you're eating higher percentage of carbohydrates and fats per se, and then lower protein, but same amount of calories. It just doesn't look the same, you know?
Yeah.
You guys,
sorry, you go ahead, Paul.
So I was going to ask you, like, I'm never as big as you guys. So I never ate, to the amount of food that you guys did. But did you find 2 grams?
You're pretty big, Paul. You're pretty
Thanks,
big.
man.
Jack,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you. Yeah, just not to your guys' elite level, but but I just want to, because like when I would, like, I think for me probably the highest was like 400 grams of protein a day, and that was hard for me to sustain. Eating that much meat every day is hard.
But wait a minute, Paul. That's 2 grams per pound for you.
Yeah, it's like
Well, I was
your stage weight is
contest
like,
weight it would have been
body weight,
Yeah. But just so people watching, because not everybody's like a hardcore bodybuilder. When we're talking about grams per pound, we're talking about your lean body mass.
Yeah.
So Paul was like 240. His stage weight would have been 210. So 400 is about 2 grams.
Yeah, but I just found that really hard to sustain though, eating that much meat.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. Like when I was with Chad and we were doing 12-ounce cooked per meal, like that's fucking. It's not.
I remember those days. Yeah.
I mean, but I did that for fucking years.
I know.
Even at a time with Dennis James, I think I was more than that. Like he had me doing like 14, 16 ounces cooked a meal.
The only time I went to 16, was with fish.
Yeah.
I remember I would do 16s for fish and I would do 12s for everything else.
I always eat more of fish than I eat of every other meat. Like even with Matt now, say I'm like doing 250 of one, I'll do 300 of another, 225 and 250, it's always more of the fish for sure.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason also, Paul, because I think a lot of people that are entering into the bodybuilding world now, not all of them want to be freaks. They just want to. So I think when they hear you only need a gram per pound, it sits better with them.
Well, it's easier.
Oh yeah, it's much easier
because they're like, I can manage this, right? I can do 200 grams of protein a day. I can do 300 grams. But you start getting 400, you're like, fuck, man, I got to eat a fucking 12-ounce steak every fucking meal.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot easier to eat like that much in carbs, and a little less protein.
Right.
Eating 12 ounces of like turkey or chicken or steak is not easy by any stretch.
No, it's way easier to say, well, it's carb sparing if I eat 6. Yeah. So I'm going to do 6 ounces and I'm going to have more carbs. I'm like, well, that's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it equates the same.
No.
It's my own anecdote anyway. That's not, I'm sure there's people
because, I mean, obviously when you introduce like anabolics and the level of training that we're doing, the demand like can be so much higher and can be utilized so much higher than the average guy that's, doing 30-minute workouts 4 days a week and has 140 pounds of lean body mass and is using no anabolics. Like it's obviously vastly different. It's your ability to utilize and synthesize that amount of protein, right?
Yeah. Listen, guys, I have a question for you. My brother watches the podcast, which is very strange to me because he's not a bodybuilder by any stretch. Yeah. Which, what is that? Fanta?
Fanta Zero Sugar. Fucking amazing. Yeah.
Nice. He watches the podcast. He's been watching it for a while now. He loves all you guys. And he had a question with his son. They were talking about it and they wanted me to ask it on the podcast. Mm-hmm. So he said, imagine there's no food left on Earth. And who are you winking at over there?
My daughter.
Oh.
Maya just came in for a second. She's looking for some paper. Sorry.
Tell her to come say hi.
Come here for a minute. She don't want to. She's shy.
Tell her she can't hear me. Yell at her. Tell her to come here. Say, Fouad says get over here.
Uncle Fouad wants to talk to you. She knows what you're trying to do. She's like, no.
Anyway, okay. So there's no food left on Earth, and everyone's gone. It's you, your dog, and there's a guy walking across the street, and you haven't eaten.
Yeah, I'm kill the guy.
100%.
So you kill the dog, or you kill the guy?
Kill the guy.
Kill the guy. Yellow jacket him.
Yeah, 100%.
I started watching that.
Wow, you guys were really quick about that.
Why the fuck would I kill my dog that I have a relationship with versus a man? Like if it was another woman, then maybe, because it's like, okay, I can procreate and maybe save the human race. But if it's a man, it's like, why? I can't make a baby with this thing. I'm going to kill him and eat him. And he's going to be a lot more meat than my dog.
But you're 8% gay, so you could still have fun with him.
I can still have fun with my dog. It's the end of the world.
Okay, what about this? Your dog is very small and will only sustain you for, if you kill the guy, you have a lot more food too. So you probably.
I already said I'm killing the guy.
Yeah, so you kill the guy. Paul, what do you think? Let's say for you it would be your cat.
Swiss. Okay. So yeah. So lay out the scenario for me again.
It's you, your cat, and a guy walking across the street. You haven't eaten in 3 weeks.
I don't know the guy.
You don't know the guy.
Yeah.
And it's the
Rated.
end of the world. You're not going to go to jail or anything.
It might be
Oh,
one of
okay.
your. It might be one of your neighbors. You kind of know him. But you
Okay. Yeah, I don't really care for them. Okay.
Kill his ass.
Yeah, he's dead. For sure, I would go for the guy. I love my cat, and if it was my other cat, I would kill the cat.
Do you think? Do you think you could eat a person?
That's what I was thinking about in my head. What would I rather eat?
Man,
cat or human?
If you're hungry enough, you'll eat fucking anything, man.
For
There's
sure.
no chance. You watch that fucking show. You see when these people are hungry that they want to eat those people so goddamn bad, man. They're just chomping at the bit to eat those people.
Mike, could you eat a person?
No problem.
If
I'll eat
it's,
a person right now.
I totally believe you.
death, you're clearly eating the human. Like obviously,
Yeah,
What part of the
it would
human
make more sense.
What are you slicing off the human first? The glutes?
Thigh. It's a big leg muscles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quad for sure.
quad.
It'd be tough.
Try the
That'd be tough.
rib meat. The rib meat might be nice.
Yeah,
You might want some-
technically you would want a muscle that is less worked. You know,
You want it marbled though.
you want it marbled.
So you
yeah,
probably-
so you want
On
the
the
guy to be a little on the fat
So
side.
if you get a
You
real
would.
fat ass walking across the street, you're gonna be
On the
Scrumptious.
average human, you're probably gonna go for the glute
Like
first.
bacon.
No, the
Yeah.
back fat. The back would be the best.
Oh yeah, back.
Oh yeah, the handles.
little fillet back there.
Nobody, normal people don't train their backs or lift anything. So
That's right.
their backs would be real
Tender.
yeah, and fatty.
If we're
Nice and
even
tender.
luckier, the man's like on the younger side. We don't want no like 65-year-old man.
Yeah, I don't want tough meat. I want.
But,
We don't want an old bull. We want a fucking young calf, you know?
What type of? If you had to pick a culture, which one would you pick? Which
Oh
one would
no,
you
no.
pick based on their diet. Well, based on their diet, which one would taste better?
What do you think tastes the best?
I don't know. It depends on what you like, I guess.
Well, if you
Feel like-
if you think Indian, then you're going seasoning, heavy seasoning.
True. You're gonna sweat that
be-
out probably a little bit.
It's going to be really like
Yeah,
tasty.
Just
you
want, whoever's
you
the
want-
densest muscle person.
Yeah, and you also want someone that's probably consumed the least like artificial like food,
Yeah.
like preservatives and sugars and shit like that. I think that would
No.
make it taste worse.
Yeah,
No,
I
because
think so,
you want the fat marbling.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between fat and what is making the fat. And like I think
No. Think about how good a corn-fed cow versus a grass-fed cow. We're not trying to be healthy. We're trying to just taste good.
Yeah.
You're going to die
Taste.
anyway.
Taste.
There's a difference though.
Yeah.
That's not a cow that's eating fucking Doritos and Skittles, man, you know?
So you think
Yeah.
my meat
If
tastes
you're going for-
like shit?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Tastes like Papa John's.
It tastes artificial. It's all junk
Yeah.
food shit.
Greasy. You'd be like
Yeah,
you'd be like bear meat, you know?
They'd rather eat me than you. Your muscles probably fucking tough as fuck. It's like all just leathery and shit.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Fucking like,
That's me.
like jerky.
But I eat,
Mine would
but
be
I
like
eat
jerky,
very
yeah.
well. Like I eat like a very good diet. So
Paul's the oldest, so Mike's fucking probably the best to eat.
oh yeah, it's tough. I don't know.
for
I
me.
don't know now. I'm confused now because I'm like I'm the
could
youngest.
feed
but
on
I'm
Mike
I'm probably the like highest percentage of muscle and lowest body fat, so I might probably taste the most
And,
tough.
and you
Yeah.
eat clean all the time, so your
All
muscle
the
True.
time.
your muscle probably tastes bland and leathery.
Probably,
Yeah,
it probably
but-
tastes very gamey. Very
but
It
gamey.
tastes like it tastes like a Timbit. Fucking
Yeah.
delicious.
But I'm
And
pretty,
you're a big man, Mike.
I'm pretty sedentary other than like training, so I don't think my muscles would be like. It's not like I'm walking around like a fucking moose like 60 fucking hours a day, you know?
No, man, your muscles like flank. It's like tough. It's like an eye round.
You know,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
but he's natural food, so
I
it
taste
might
like
be a
I
little
taste
bit,
like I taste like a fucking ribeye. That's been marinated because of my background.
This is sounding kind of sexual. To me. It's making me uncomfortable.
That's a first.
I know, right?
Well, the
Where
food
we
talk
cross the
got
line
to
there,
it
yeah.
finally.
What line did we cross there?
We finally got Ian.
Who I'm saying how delicious he would be is
Yeah.
just that's where I draw
Oh,
the line.
yeah.
You fucking
That's what I
know
draw
I'm a
the
ribeye.
Well, how come when fucking Mike said he was a delicious Timbit, it was okay? That
Didn't,
didn't,
didn't Theo Vaughn answer this question and said you would want to eat an Asian?
no, did
Be
he?
the healthiest.
I don't want to
think
I don't want to copy other podcasts. I didn't know this was already on a different thing.
Yeah, I think he was the top. I don't know if it was like a direct question like that, but I think it was like if you had to eat like a race of human, which one would it be? And I think he said an Asian, you know?
Fucking hilarious, that dude.
I'd
Yeah,
go with
he
yeah,
is.
Theo Vaughn's awesome. I would go with an Italian.
Guy's
Yeah,
like,
but-
what's your favorite kind of weed you smoke growing up? He's like, probably cocaine.
The only
Hey.
real answer. Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you, and I know you guys are Paul, you're hardcore, and Ian, you kind of are there too, so you're probably not going to like it. But have you guys tried Delta 8 before?
Yeah, I hate it. Shit.
I lived in Florida, man. That's all you get down there.
Yeah.
What is
You
that?
like Mike? Have you tried it?
What is it?
It's not
Like fake
THC.
weed.
It's not THC, but it like acts
Oh.
like it like
It's
a mild
it's
version.
legal weed for places where it's not legal, you know.
Isn't like a synthetic plant. I don't know what the fuck it is. But
Listen,
shit,
so this company called Bliss sent me one, and because I told them I didn't, because they've heard me on the podcast say I don't smoke weed because it fucks me up or whatever, but I want to feel like relaxed. So they sent me one. I was smoking it last night. It's fucking awesome.
yeah.
I didn't feel.
I
didn't
love it.
listen. I didn't feel hot, but I can't smoke weed. That's the difference between me and you,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
I didn't feel high at all, but
Just
I felt totally relaxed. Like it,
Do you feel
What is
like
it
that
called?
on the
Delta
CBD?
8?
what,
Yeah,
it's
Delta
called
8.
Delta 8. Yeah. What's that, Paul?
I told you guys in the group chat when I ate that fucking edible
Yeah.
the other day. Holy fuck, man. That fucked my night
Yeah.
up hard.
Tell them how much. Do you want to tell them how much you ate?
Well, okay, so we had this chocolate bar that your buddy gave us in that little goodie bag. And I don't know why. I was just like reading it quickly, and I just couldn't for the life of me think that each little square was 200 milligrams of THC. I just like, it just didn't make sense in my head. I'm like, they're pretty small. There's no way. Like, they can't pack that into this. So I thought it was the whole bar was 200 milligrams, and there was 10 squares, and they were 20 each.
Yeah.
So I ate a full square, which is like nothing. 20 milligrams is nothing to me. It's like, oh, you
Yeah.
know, I might feel a little bit, but like, I'll probably eat another one in like an hour or so.
Yeah.
So I ate the full thing. 45 minutes in, I'm like, man, I'm not sure what the fuck. I go back and look at the bar.
I
I'm
love
reading the
that.
bar, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm fucking reading it. 200 milligrams times 10, 2,000 milligrams total per bar. And then the back end is like, for experienced weed connoisseurs only, eat half a square to start, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'm like, oh my God.
Half a square?
That's what
Well,
it says.
yeah, because 100
which is 100
milligrams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a shatter bar.
Yeah, it's shatter bar. Yeah. And I ate, so
Yeah.
I ate 200 milligrams just like straight up. And I was like, 45 minutes in, I was already pretty fucked up. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a long fucking night. You know? By 2 hours, man, I was like space cadet. Like I'm watching TV and my body feels so fucked up. I couldn't focus I'm standing up. I try and take a piss. My legs are like fucking Bambi, you know? Pissing all over the fucking floor and shit, you know? Like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
It was a weird like 3 hours. Probably by like 4 hours after I started to feel pretty normal. But well, fuck, the first like 2.5, by 2.5, 3 hours, I was fucking close to the highest I've ever been in my life for sure.
I've had that experience with other drugs, not that drug though.
Yeah,
Take a
that was
half
by
of this,
far the
man.
highest I've been from weed, you know?
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do when you're that high to
Nothing.
bring it down. You just gotta not be busy for the next 2 hours.
Paul,
Yeah.
not you, but experienced weed connoisseurs. What do they normally eat from that bar?
I'm not big on edibles because sometimes
I
I
don't
like,
edibles.
sometimes I love them, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, I know that, but what would a weed connoisseur eat if they had that bar? How much of it?
Like the guys I know that are chronic,
The guys you know, yes.
like you know who I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're probably at least 200 milligrams at a time, at least
Yeah, that's
minimum.
crazy.
Did you ever eat that bar?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, he said he ate half the bar. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
I was.
I ate
I was
about half of it the
trying-
first time.
I was trying not. I was trying not to say. I was trying not to say because I didn't know if he wanted to tell people. Apparently, he doesn't care.
Oh, I don't care.
So just so you
No, I
guys,
don't care.
Fucking legal, man.
wait. Just so you guys
It's legal,
know,
yeah.
just so you guys know, Ian was telling us about it, and we were all like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then
I was
Paul's
like, oh yeah, it was great. I ate half the bar.
Paul's like, "I had half of that thing." We're like, "What?" And I had to, and I
was
and I
very
had to, in the text, I had to double check. I was like, "Wait, you mean half a square?" He's like, "No, half the whole bar." I'm like, "So you ate,
Yeah.
so you ate
Yeah.
1,000 milligrams?" And I'm like, "Holy
Over a
at
night,
least.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
to
I
put
was
it in
pretty high off
perspective
that.
For people that don't know like milligrams or don't smoke weed or eat edibles, like if I eat an edible or something with like people that don't really smoke weed, like Melissa or Courtney or my buddy Dylan, like for the girls, if they eat 20 milligrams, they're fucking done. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
that's their lights out. Like Dylan would eat make 40 to 60 and like it'll fuck his next day up.
Well,
So,
I
like,
can.
200, like
yeah.
I was so fucked I didn't even know what to do with myself. you
Well,
know?
I can speak from my own experience. Like when I was having back issues and I didn't want to take Advil every night because it's not good for your kidneys. I was taking. I started smoking taking edibles, and 10 milligrams was fine, but any more than that, I was fucked. So I that's 1,000 milligrams is fucking insane.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have anything to do that day, that night, or the next day. So I didn't mind, and I think it was right after the show, Fouad. And that was a stressful show for me. We did it. So it was a way of me kind of unwinding. But
What is
yeah,
it?
so this
What
was
is-
the thing, and I just saw like the 200 milligrams, but this is 2,000 milligrams per bar, 200 milligrams times 10 pieces. And then you read the back, it's like fucking, yeah, for experienced weed THC connoisseurs only, start with half a bar to a half a square to assess tolerance, blah, 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 blah. So it's like, I just fucking, and I'm like, look, I smoke weed, but like, I'm not eating 200 milligram edibles. I mean, that's for goddamn sure, you know?
Sorry to interrupt you guys again, but I have to tell you, this is definitely my favorite cigar now. It's the same one as last week. It's a Tabernac.
Oh, those ones, yeah.
It's called the Tabac.
These ones?
Apparently, somebody said Drew Estate is very popular. Somebody said Drew Estate is very popular, and they have a line called Deadwood or Acid something that's all flavored like this.
Yeah,
these are fucking awesome. Anyway,
these were in the box your buddy gave to you. They're weak. They're only 5 milligrams each, but man, these are some of the best tasting chocolates I've ever eaten. Like
those are good.
Like if I just want to eat chocolate, like these are like 10 out of 10 delicious.
If I didn't like chocolate,
I mean, I like these.
Those are tasty.
I'll be super gay and eat these. That's for sure.
Why are you eating edibles on the podcast? What's going to happen to you now?
They're 5 milligrams. I won't even feel that.
I feel like I'm gonna get high now too.
Paul, what is shatter? What is the difference? Do you know?
Shatter, it's like it's like the TH, they kind of like take the THC out of the plant, you know, and it's like, so it's a concentrate. It's like super concentrate THC.
Okay. What does 1,000 milligram edible feel like for you? Like, do you see shit? Like, do you see shit?
No, I don't hallucinate. No.
Do you just like get body buzz? Like, what does it feel like?
Yeah, I feel pretty chilled out, pretty relaxed, and you know, I love watching movies when I'm on an edible. When it hits me good like that.
Do you focus better, or is just everything funnier?
Yeah, both. Yeah, I love watching comedies, especially. Yeah, because it makes everything way funnier for sure.
Know what I found when I actually was that high? Because like I'd never been that high before. I found I was watching movies and TV, and I found everything was really fucking corny.
Why?
Really?
Like everything was cheesy. Like I was watching like Star Wars or fucking some movie or some shit. I'm like, how the fuck do I like this? This is so fucking cheesy. Like this is, I felt like this is how women feel when they watch Star Wars. And they're like, this is so stupid, like and corny. Why do you watch this shit?
Yeah. Like,
and really, I love stuff like that. And I'm watching, I'm like, this is so dumb. I'm like laughing at it. I'm like, this is the cheesiest thing I've ever seen in my life. What am I watching? You know? It was so weird. Like it was just not how I usually felt about it.
Okay. I want to just show you guys something for those who aren't on Instagram. This is me, Paul, and Ben Chow, the Detroit Pro Amateur. Next year, April 2024, Tyler Mannion and the IFBB Pro League have awarded us the opportunity to have a pro show finally. Well, not finally. We didn't really ask. I asked a long time ago. We were going to do this like 5 or 6 years ago in Canada, but we decided that the US is going to be better for us. Because there's already a couple Canadian shows and we don't want to interfere with those. So we're going to do, Michigan doesn't have a show and it's right across the border from where we live. So, and Ben's in the US anyway. So we're going to do the Detroit Pro-Am, bring bodybuilding back to Michigan.
Yep.
And, yeah, me and Paul have been promoting for 13 years now. So it was kind of like the time to try something new.
Yeah. Yeah, Detroit hasn't had a pro show in at least 10 years, I believe, maybe 15.
This logo, like this black and gray with the D, is fucking cool. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I want to do things a little different than other shows. I think we're going to be doing merch for the show. We're going to really build it up like from now until then, right? So like you can buy like Detroit Pro clothing, hoodies, t-shirts, all that shit. That way, like kind of build
make it a brand.
Yeah, we'll make it a brand. Make it a brand for the entire year. That way, people know it's there, it's coming.
Give everyone edibles when they come to watch the show.
Everybody, the entire audience gets a 5 milligram edible. Just calm everybody down.
It's legal
could
in
be
Michigan.
5, could be 20. We don't know.
Michigan.
Yeah, you're gonna reach in the jar and you're going to get from 5 to 500 milligrams. You just got to take what you get. You know?
So I just want to touch
best show ever.
I just want to touch on a couple important things before we go, because I just want to give a little bit of information about it. So the amateur show will have all of the classes. We're going to do everything from bikini to fitness, masters, bodybuilding, like whatever classes you're in, we're going to have it. Novice, open, all of it. The pro show, we're starting with men's open bodybuilding for sure. And then we may build onto that. So we don't know how many classes we're going to have. And the reason, just so people know, it's not because we're excluding anybody or we don't like certain classes or whatever, every class costs money. So we have to pay a sanction fee for each class. So we have to decide kind of, we want to make sure the most important thing to all three of us is that we make sure we take care of the athletes the best way possible. We give good prize money and the audience is happy. So if it means we have to have a couple less classes than we want to make sure that the classes that do show up are taken care of and the venue is good and everything looks good, then that's kind of the more important to us right now than having a bigger show. But we do plan to do this.
It's our first year, you know.
That's why we do plan to do this every year. So like, you know, as
you're an open men's bodybuilder, Paul was a bodybuilder, you start with bodybuilding. I mean,
So as time passes, as the show grows, as the popularity of it grows, one day we hope to have like all the classes. So we'll see. We'll see what we have this year. But right now we're going to plan for open men's bodybuilding and then see where we end up by April. But we'll keep you all posted. If you follow Detroit Pro _am, you can follow that page. It'll have all the updates on there. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of give you guys that. Me and Paul and Ben, are really fucking geeked about it because
and I said I have to do it because I have to add to my list of bullshit wins that I apparently have, right? So when I win, what'll be the excuse for this one? Like, well, clearly he won. It's fucking Paul and Fouad and Ben show.
yeah. I wonder what other excuses are going to come up with this one. Yeah. Well, it's in Detroit. Yeah, whatever.
What does that mean? You know?
Right. Yeah, I'm sure they'll find something.
It's funny though. I've had a lot of interest so far. A lot of people have DM'd me. A lot of pros have DM'd me. Be like, I want to do your show.
People want to do your show, man. I mean, obviously,
I think it's.
I'm like, I've done fucking 30 pro shows. I'm still like, fuck yeah, I want to do that. Let's do it. You know.
Yeah, man. I think I'm really excited about it. So we're looking for a good venue. I want to make sure it's in a theater. We're not going to do a hotel. We're not going to do a gymnasium. It's got to be in a theater. So. Yeah. We're looking for a nice place to do things. But anyway, okay. So that's the good news. Just wanted to let everybody know. On to other things. There is a pro show this weekend. I wanted to go over.
Empro.
Oh, Europe. Eh?
Yeah. Roman is competing this weekend. Yeah. So I thought we should.
Michael Crizo is competing.
Yep.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
he looks big as a goddamn house. That's for sure.
I think Stu Leos had a good breakdown of it. Let me just share my screen with you guys. Okay, so I think he had all the competitors here.
Yep.
And he's got all their profiles here.
So you have Amir.
Amir is good. This guy was second in Brazil. I don't remember his name.
Peter Clancer's there.
Obviously, Crizo, Peter Clancer, Andre Presti. This is a new kid from Spain or Portugal, I think.
So I mean, at least two Olympians there because Presti and Crizo were both last year's Olympia.
Roman and this guy looks pretty good. These two gentlemen, I don't know. These three gentlemen, I don't know who they are. That's Christian Wolski. Yeah, Wolski. Seems like he's made some improvements. I want to go to his page real quick.
He looks good. He's got good legs, eh?
Yeah, but I think everywhere he's made improvements.
Yeah, I do like his physique a
lot. These were the last set.
Yeah, like this looks good, man.
Yeah.
Like that's a solid
physique. That's a big back.
For sure.
He's got good front shots too. I think his quads are really good. Yeah, look at this.
Oh wow, yeah.
I think structurally he might be a little smaller. But
yeah, I'd be interested to know what his weight is, but I mean he's put together nicely for sure.
Muscularity.
There's no like lacking parts that are like super evident. I think he could do a little more chest, but I mean, who the fuck am I to talk, you
know? You're in IFBB Pro for a decade. More than a decade. You can talk.
6 wins.
This young kid is going to be, what's his name again? I forget. Joan Perdelis.
Yeah. I think it's Juan,
sorry. Johan maybe.
Juan.
What do you think, Paulie? He's a young kid. I think he's like 25, I heard, or something like that.
Yeah, I saw him on Instagram the other day. He's got really nice shape.
Big too.
Yeah, is he a big guy?
I think he's a big dude,
yeah. Yeah, he's got nice shape too for a big dude. Yeah, he looks pretty impressive in his shots. That's a beautiful shot.
That's a good shot,
yeah. He can vacuum too.
He's got everything there.
Mm.
He's a little wider through the waist.
Yeah, but he can outgrow
that. He pulls it off.
Yeah.
So like back shots. Waist looks great there. Look at his delts; those are fucking cannon round.
Yeah. I think he needs to bring up the arms to match the rest of his physique.
The quad sweep is crazy, eh?
Yeah.
What about his back? Any back shots?
There you go. You asked.
Not bad. I mean, there's some good like lower lat like thickness.
This is strange. There's traps here down in the rhomboid area. Is like it's kind of It's weird. I've never.
He definitely needs more hamstring. He's got good adductors,
Yeah.
but you can see his hamstrings are pretty shallow.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a great physique. I mean,
Yeah.
for 25, this is crazy.
Oh, is that what he is?
I think he's something like 25, 26. I heard somewhere in there.
There's a lot of good young bodybuilders right now coming up.
like he's big. I think, yeah. There's a stage shot above him there.
1 sec. I just want to see him go through some of these poses.
Those delts are pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's got awesome delts. Yeah. There. Oh yeah, that looks good too.
That front double is great.
Yeah.
That's nice too. That abs and thighs good.
Yeah, his front shots are nice.
He's a big dude, man.
Yeah. I just want to see the stage shot. Oh, he's working with.
That's Joey Belt.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm supposed to have him on. We were going to talk posing.
Yeah, he's taking this posing seriously. That's good. But here, yeah.
Where is the shot? This one?
Do that. Yeah, let's see that. Just I want to see what he looked like on stage, just compared to other guys.
I think this is a guest posing.
Is it?
No, wait. No, this is a show. This is where he turned
Show
pro.
last year, I think.
I mean, whoever this
It was
girl
Empro.
is, fucking hype.
11 days we repeat. Isn't that the show he turned pro at?
He just turned pro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go up to that shot for that one right there for with the headphones on, the tank top?
Yeah, look at those delts, man.
Yeah, look pretty funky.
That's a little suspect.
The right one looks a little.
Yeah,
looks
that
like
picture is
just a-
definitely.
It just looks like a fresh shot.
Yeah, it's probably just,
Yeah.
I was going to say that too.
shot some gear in there the day before or something. That's all it is.
Yeah, he's got a great front double.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he needs to not lock those knees so much on that shot, but that looks fucking
Yeah.
sick.
Agree.
Got big arms too, big biceps.
Wait, that's a better shot of his back. Yeah, it's weird. It's like this comes out and then it goes in here.
Yeah,
Is it the way he's posing it? Is he kind of like
I don't
pitching
know.
his shoulder blades?
I don't even know. I don't think so. I don't even know how you would
look at
do
his
that.
goddamn biceps on that front and back double though.
Yeah, jeez.
Fucking golf balls, like so round.
You know what's really strange? His triceps look really good with his arms up.
Yeah, I know. They look
Uh-huh.
way better with him up than with his arms down.
It's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to somebody else so we're not spending all our time looking at him, but he's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yeah. Very impressive.
Okay. So is Crizzo, do you guys have Crizzo as the favorite here?
I mean, it's pretty impossible not to, you know.
Yeah,
Mike, what do you
Who's
think?
that guy? Who's the guy with the beard? He did in the Euro Pro, right?
Presty.
Is that the guy?
No.
Which one?
Are you talking about Peter Clancy or this guy?
The guy with the
Oh,
Who's that?
I don't think he did.
He hasn't competed in like a year or so.
Yeah.
So I thought that was the same guy from the Euro Pro with the beard.
Oh, you're thinking of that that tall guy. Fuck, what was his name again?
yeah,
Christian.
I know who you're thinking of. It
No,
does
what
look
was
like
his
him.
The European who came third or fourth just ahead of Joe Seaman at New York.
Take a look at our boy Roman. We helped him cue up some of his poses.
He's Milano 10 to the fucking nines, eh?
Look how good these shots look now.
He's-
When I saw his
That's
face on the
great.
podcast, I'm like, oh my God, he's so dark.
He's still got some work to do on this. He's still got to push the shoulder forward.
Yeah,
I love how he looks in these updates, though. I mean, he looks fucking so sick.
He's
Great.
really fixed his back shots tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's a really pretty physique. He opened up
Great
his hands.
abs,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
conditioning.
yeah. He
He's
looks
got
full this time.
Look
nice
at this front.
structure to it.
We fixed this front lat spread. Look how good that looks.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
This one he's having a little trouble with. He's still shrugging this back shoulder, I think. I keep telling him.
Oh yeah, a little too much, eh? Yeah.
But we did
Where's
get him,
there.
compared
got
to
him
his backs, like,
got him to bring his arms down a bit, but he's still got to
Yeah.
drop the shoulder.
he needs to drop the shoulder and lower the look at those
And then we had him. I wanted him to turn this knee out a little bit more, but he's got it. He's doing it a little bit.
Right
His
there.
back shots are doing a lot better. You see what he's doing with
Yeah.
his back, Ian?
Yeah.
Rounding it.
So no, it's not rounding. He's not
No, he's
rounding.
flexing his abs and popping those lower lats more.
No. He's pushing his erectors out, but he's not rounding his back.
Yeah.
He's actually like pushing his
Yeah. To learn that trick.
So yeah. It's so different from what he was doing before. If I found a back shot, you'd be like, "Holy fuck!"
Imagine this physique if you put fucking Nick Walker's arms on it.
I know, right?
Jesus, you
I
know.
want to go down. I want to see if I can find his back shot before because he changed it and it's like way better now. Let's see. Go around here.
I mean, even that looks better just standing. Like,
No,
It looks like he got bigger from last year.
no, he did, but I want to see if he does the back double. Well, this is when he was dieting. Oh, it was only 1 week into the diet.
it's 11 weeks out.
Remember, he over dieted last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this was after the
You can
show.
see there, he's way too crunched up there, so he needs to drop that more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So watch this.
Oh
See-
yeah, way better.
See the difference?
Way more lower lat thickness.
Yeah,
Oh,
but do you see why though? It's because he's arching his back, so he's
pushing those erectors out. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's losing. He's arching his back, so he's losing all the thickness.
Yeah.
So that's what I find that you're doing, Ian. When you do your back double, it's like you extremely arch.
Yeah, I was just trying that as a new thing to see if it looked better. So
yeah,
I think it did in some cases, but I think I was overarching it, you know.
Roman, we have Andre Presti.
I like Presty.
I always like Presti. Yeah.
Presti's always fucking peeled. I think it's gonna go like, if I had to put my top three, I would go.
I'll give you a top three.
Okay,
Crizzle, Presty, Roman.
I'm gonna go, Crizo, Presti, Roman. Crizo, Presti, Amir, or Roman after that.
I disagree.
That Amir kid is better on stage than I think he's pretty good. Peter Clancy actually looks pretty good right now. Go to his profile. He posted an update today that actually.
Do we need to bet on this?
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet on it.
Okay.
Now go up to the top. This is old. Go up.
No, that's it, dude.
Oh,
this is 15 weeks different.
No, I saw for like a full update, like doing back shots. Go to the tag photos then.
No, here.
No, this is 4 weeks ago. Go to the tagged because I just saw it today. There.
Yeah. Could be a little sharper. Depends when this is though. He's working with Chris Aceto. I didn't know that.
Like
he's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah,
actually he is very sharp. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
It's just the glutes could be a little tighter.
Well, it's because he's popping his hips out, so like he's not getting the full contraction of those, but you can see they're fucking dry. He's got big arms and delts, dude. Huge biceps. That's a good shot. I mean, he looks great.
Yeah.
If he can pull his peak together right, I think he could be in that third, fourth spot for sure.
All right, let's I think we should bet because I'm gonna make you guys do something shitty.
Okay, make your bets. I'll be right back. I gotta check on the kids.
Do something shitty.
Okay, Mike, are you gonna get in on this?
Who's
bet?
the guy in the top right?
Amir.
That's Amir. Go to his profile.
Don't boss me around, Ian.
For some reason, when I see his name, I always call him Amiro Magic.
He's only like 23.
He's young, yeah.
Mike, what do you think?
Can we see Crizo?
Yeah, I mean, Crizo's just so much bigger, man. Like he's so fucking big, it's ridiculous.
Where the fuck is he? There he is.
I mean, Crizo's just a very different level of muscularity than these guys. You know, like
is this photoshopped?
No.
Are you sure?
It's that 4K shit.
Yeah. I've stood next to this guy. He's fucking gigantic. You know, where he just loses it is his kind of lats insertion into his waist on his front shots, and his glutes are very underdeveloped, and his back's a little not quite as strong as the front. But from the front and the side, I mean, this guy is like, his arms, man, are the biggest arms I've ever seen in person for sure. Like, look at these fucking arms, man.
Look at the shot, man. Holy fuck.
See, but this is, I think he loses a little ground here, just like his tie-ins on that is a little funky. But like, look at that. That's an outrageous shot. And then here on the back and the glutes and hamstrings, he loses a little bit. But I mean, he's so fucking big, man. It's ridiculous.
He's very good, man. He's very good. When
he came out, when we were doing the fucking press conference and he came out in the tank top and did that most muscular, and I was standing right next to him, I almost fucking shit my pants. I couldn't believe how big the guy was. His fucking arms and delts, man, were like so big. It was crazy.
Okay. I think it's time.
Do they have a picture from that press conference? I want to see if they have one there where he's hitting that crab most muscular.
Probably somewhere here. Look at this shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's 27 weeks.
Jesus.
Oh.
Okay, we're past it. No, it's okay.
Yeah, fuck it.
What are we going to bet on? Everyone knows this guy's going to win.
No, we're going to bet on the top 5 or top 3.
Let's do the top 3, yeah.
Top 3?
Let's do 4.
Well, it depends what the bet is. If we're betting like everybody's got to shave their beard, that should be top 5.
I'm never participating in that.
Come on, Mike. Okay, you can have a goatee. You can have a mustache.
Oh.
I'll trim my mustache very short so it grows back very quick.
Well, what are you gonna do then? We got to do something. You gotta get your balls pierced.
Balls? What the fuck?
He's got to get that tattoo that was photoshopped onto me above his eye.
Well, you need to get funny. That shit is fired.
Yeah,
that actually would have. If it didn't mean what it means, that would actually look pretty fucking sick. You know.
You have to get a bro chat tattoo.
No, I'll do that.
Yeah,
What do I care?
he can hide that. That's nothing. Yeah.
All right, we all have to get a bro chat tattoo.
Okay.
Loser gets a bro chat tattoo.
Like just the initials, BC.
No, it has to say bro chat.
Logo.
Or
The
logo.
logo. Yeah, I got a new.
I like the logo.
I have a new logo being made. We'll get the new one.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's go.
That's a pretty
Stakes are high, boys.
Yeah, it is. Jeez, I don't think about this.
Stakes are by far
I haven't seen the new logo.
They're lowest for Mike, then me, and then you guys, because you guys don't really have tattoos.
Yeah, I got one little tiny one.
Yeah.
I
at least have like half my arm done, so I can fucking hide it in there pretty easily.
Yeah.
All right.
You get to choose the location too.
Oh shit.
No.
Neck. Right on the neck.
Okay, well, let's make this rule: not on your feet.
Feet
has to
suck
be a
though.
place
In
where
case,
it's like-
none of you guys had your feet tattooed, it sucks. Fucking
Yeah,
but
bad.
Probably hurts, yeah.
Don't just do it on their fucking foot and hide it. Like it's like you got to at least have it like semi-visible, you know?
Like where is semi-visible? Name it.
Like
It's gotta be on a limb.
on a limb,
So like I got to do it on. It's got to be on your forearm or something.
forearm, arm, shoulder, leg, something like that. Yeah.
Calf.
Strap is fine, sure. Like anything on the thorax or arms or legs, but I can't be.
Can I do real
or, like-
bodybuilding instead of bro chat?
Can you do what?
Real bodybuilding instead of bro
No.
chat?
Well, if we're gonna start making amendments to this,
I'm just saying that's a
Can I
podcast.
pick what I want?
They get an invisible tattoo.
Oh, because real bodybuilding could mean like anything. So it's like, you know,
Okay, bro chat, and it's got to be on a forearm.
just anywhere other
I
than
don't know
like
about this.
no butt or fucking.
Paul's backing out.
I don't know. This is permanent. Got like a nipple ring that I can take out.
Hey, think about all the great stuff that's happened to you since you got on bro chat. Maybe you
A
deserve
lot
it.
of great things have happened, no doubt.
Or maybe
Yeah,
that.
But I don't know if I want to put. I don't know if I want it on my forearm though.
Maybe you
Well, it
should
doesn't
be
need to be on your forearm.
Where can it
You
be?
can put it on like your calf.
I don't like calf tattoos. Not on me.
Then
I
you
got
can
shitty
put it
calves.
like
It's got to be somewhere visible. You can't put it on your
it's
fucking.
hard when you don't have a lot of tattoos because it's like one thing alone, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna be the centerpiece of my body now.
Yeah, I mean, like Mike can put it anywhere and it's like no
It
big
has to be at least the size of the back of your fist.
No.
That's pretty big.
That's cute.
On my chest right there?
Yeah, right on the fucking chest, you know?
Paul, are you in? Are you in?
We need to save a bet of this capacity for like a show where it's
Yeah.
like, when we got like Tampa or Texas.
let 'em
like,
out of
Yeah.
the fucking.
I don't know half these guys.
That's why it's even better. It's even more interesting.
No, let's save it for a show that we're like really invested in with a bunch of guys. Because I'm down to do this bet, but I think we need to do it for a bigger stakes show, you know?
Agreed. I agree with you.
You fucking pussy.
Because like when we do like Tampa or Texas or like these guys shows, we might have like Justin, Carlos, fucking Hunter, Andrew, Jack. Like this is gonna be a crazy show. Like let's make big bets, you know?
We could for this one, we could do like loser like buys dinner next time we're all together or something.
All right. Fuck. Okay.
Well, Mike's already got one fucking exemption.
Boring.
Yeah, Mike's already got one credit.
He's got a credit.
Why is Mike got a credit?
He paid
Oh.
for dinner last time.
That's right. Okay. Let's do your shitty bet.
Who's gonna win this one? Huh?
Yeah, nobody cares now. There's
Thanks a lot,
no skin in
Paul.
the game.
Thanks a lot, Paul.
I'll pick
All right.
what's his face, this guy, and that guy.
Yeah. I
Just
gotta
randomly pick.
Wait. I want to write this down just to make sure we got a record of it. Okay. I got a pen and paper. Let's go. Ian. Oh, you're gone? Okay, Paul.
No,
We
I'll
go
go.
top three?
I'll go. Sorry, I was gonna go take a quick poop, but I'll go. I'll do it.
Okay. Go.
Okay, Crizzo,
Rizzo.
Presty.
Rusty.
What are we doing? 4 or 5 or 3?
5.
5.
What
The-
the fuck?
Well,
No,
but
we're
because
doing
it's not even a good bet, so let's do 5.
Okay, so then I'm gonna go Roman Amir. That's 4, and then 5th I'm gonna go maybe Christian Wolski.
Which one's Presty again? I'm confused right now.
The tattoo doing the quarter turn there.
This guy right here.
He's been to the Olympic. He's won multiple shows before. He's good.
Okay. Paul.
Can I see Amir again?
Oh God. You're
I'm
such
sorry,
a,
Fouad.
you're such a judge. Can I see a mirror next to Johan?
Yeah, I'm picking this guy in top 2.
Amir.
Well, that's not gonna help me, that picture.
What do you want to see? Here, Amir. Just Amir.
Nice.
Okay. I've seen enough.
Paul's seen enough.
I've seen enough.
The judge. The
So
judge
my
has seen
picks.
enough.
Yeah. Well, Crizzo for sure first. I'm gonna go Presti, Roman, Clancier.
Presti, Roman, Clancier. What's number 5?
Oh, we're going 5?
Yeah.
Christian Wolski.
Wolski. So you basically picked what Ian picked. Good for you.
Oh, no. Clancier is different.
Yeah, that's 1.
I'm just going to pick what Paul picked.
You're such a...
I've forgotten everyone's names already. I'm sorry. I know Roman and Crizzo.
Mike. Crizzo.
And I'm going to wild card it and say they do with the beard second.
Which guy with the beard? This guy here?
Nope. Up.
This guy?
Yep.
Clancier.
Then the guy below him.
Presti.
Then Roman. Then Buddy in the top right. We just looked at.
Amir. I'm going to go Crizzo. I want to take a look at Johan. I'm going to go Crizzo, Presti, Johan, Roman. And Wolski.
Who'd you pick?
None of your business. You're gonna change your picks.
No, I'm not. Just curious.
Are you gonna change your picks?
No, I'm good with mine.
I got Crizzo.
Yep.
Presti. Johan. Roman.
Oh.
And Wolski.
Oh, you don't have Clancier in there?
Nope.
Huh.
All right. Now let's make a real bet.
Fun.
You got to eat 100 milligrams of edibles.
Yes.
On
Paul-
camera.
Slowly chomping away on these things like every couple minutes.
Paul has to
They taste so
You guys are melting right now.
Paul has to eat that whole bar.
Oh my god, I don't want to see him do that.
I'll do that anyways. I don't got to lose a bet to do that.
That's fucking 2 grams of THC. That's a lot.
And well, then you get like, but then after what do I got to do after that?
Go to work.
You got to go for a
Go to work. Yeah.
Go to work.
Okay. So we covered the show, covered our show, covered Ian's comeback. Mike, you got anything you're angry about that you want to talk about?
No, I'm not allowed to say it. You said so. I can't.
Okay. Let's go. Oh, real quick. I just want to show you this. What do you think of this, buddy? Oh shit.
You're not gonna get this, are you?
I think so.
Bro.
What?
Crotch rocket boys.
You're gonna fucking kill yourself. This is a terrible idea.
No, come on.
Man, this is so much more dangerous than driving a fucking like cruiser bike.
I don't know. Not really.
You trust yourself on one of these? Honestly, like really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're a full-grown man, but I don't support the decision.
You never support anything fun, Ian.
I support things that don't end up with my friends getting killed.
All right. Well, I got another one for you then. Mike said he's going to get me jacked.
I support that pending anabolic usage.
Nothing. I can't do anything. I can't do anything fun with you. Can't use steroids. I can't buy motorcycles.
I didn't say you can't use steroids, but I said pending the dosage.
All right, Mike. What you got to tell me what the dose is? Mike, are you doing the dosage?
Don't ask me, man.
Oh,
don't leave that one up to me.
Okay, let's go back.
What kidney problem?
Okay, what do you think?
I don't know, man. Like, what is this? A fucking Hayabusa? Like, what are you getting here?
It's a Hayabusa. It's actually tuned up. It does mid-9s quarter mile.
So what is this? What's the fucking CCs on this thing? Like,
I don't know. It's 210 horsepower.
210 horsepower. Yeah.
My Harley's about 115.
Yeah, and this probably weighs fucking 65% as much too.
I know. Look at it though; it's so badass.
Yeah, I mean Hayabusas look fucking crazy in person because they're so long too. Like,
well, and this one's done up too. It's done up nice. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get it. I'll drive slow. Don't worry. I'll drive slow.
Yeah.
You don't buy the fastest production motorcycle ever to drive slow. Like, okay,
to cruise.
I have a.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my fucking McLaren and drive the speed limit. Like, are you fucking serious? Come on.
Listen, I have an itch for sport bikes because now that I've ridden a Harley, I'm like, I gotta know what it feels like.
Okay, well then get it and fucking track drive it with like full proper equipment on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't be wearing fucking baggy shorts and Converses driving this thing fucking 280. You know?
Deal.
Of course not.
Deal.
Okay.
Down the 401.
You get a proper back plate and proper equipment. I'm semi-supportive.
Okay, good. Then we agree.
Okay.
Paul, are you in agreement?
No.
No?
Good. You shouldn't be.
No, I see. I drive behind Fouad often when he's on his motorcycle. I don't want to see him on a crotch rocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those things are scary, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I got to know what that scary feels like.
Well, then borrow friends and drive it down the fucking street once. Don't buy one, and don't buy the fastest one. Like, man, you go to get a fucking Gixxer, like a 600. It's gonna feel like a fucking the craziest thing ever compared to your Harley. So I mean, you don't need to go buy the fucking 210 horsepower fucking bike to feel that. You know?
Yeah, maybe you're right.
You're like, this is like starting your first cycle and being like, a gram a trend, bitch. You know? Like,
why can't you be like Mike? When Mike,
you know what's the best part? It's probably in his garage already.
Yeah, probably. Post a picture tomorrow, right?
100%. You already bought it. He's gonna soft launch it on us, and we're like, I'm just fucking getting out of here. You know? Paul, go over to his house tomorrow. I'm sure he didn't buy that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do some questions before we go.
Texting the guy right now. Don't bring it over tonight. Wait.
Oh, we should talk about the men's.
Real question. What would your wife think about you buying a bike like that?
Oh, she's gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
every time, because I sit there and look at bikes all the time.
Well, is she pissed about the act of you, or just like the silliness of buying more things?
No, she was supportive when I bought the Harleys.
Okay. As was I, to a degree.
But every time I show her a sport bike, she's like, "Don't do it, please, don't do it."
Yeah, no, that's a different level of scariness, man. Those things are so fucking fast. Like it's so crazy. The first time you drive a crotch rocket, man, you shit your pants how much faster they are than everything else. You know.
I was driving home down the 401 a couple weeks ago, and two guys on sport bikes. They blew past me. They must have been doing 200. It was. I was like, just the sound it made when it went past me. I was like, "Holy, what the fuck!" I didn't even see them coming. But man, I just thought
a mediocre, like a 600cc bike could go as fast as like some of the fastest supercars. And this is like, now you're talking a bike you're getting that's twice as fast as that, you know? That's a
with no protection.
With minimal
open with no protection. Yeah.
All right. Fucking I'm only gonna ask Mike these things from now, because every time I ask Mike, every time I ask Mike about something, he's like, "Yeah, man, you deserve it. Go ahead."
Enabler.
Go to McDonald's once you get it too.
I'll drive to McDonald's on my sport bike with my Anadrol in my back pocket. Oh, we should, before we talk about before we do questions, the men's physique. I don't know if they listened to the podcast or they just had the same thoughts that I did or we did, but there's now weight classes after the Olympics.
The slip up you had in your video, Ian, talking about the women's classes, and you're like,
oh my god, that was such a
why? What happened?
What?
Like the first 6 seconds of my last YouTube video, I'm like talking about the schedule for the day. I'm sitting there like after my tan, I'm like, so I think they got most of the women's classes like men's physique, and then they have women's physique. Like I literally just said it like that, but I literally didn't mean that. I was just like how it came out, you know.
Just want to go real quick. Anybody who hasn't checked
what I'm curious to see is what they're going to set the weight limit at. Like, I imagine it's going to be a little bit under.
What Tyler said is, I think they've been weighing guys.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. Before we go on, anybody who hasn't subscribed to Ian's channel yet,
get me over 80K.
Let's get Ian over 100 and check out the Toronto Pro.
Yeah, listen to that first one. Click the newest one there, the today's. Yeah.
Oh,
it's like the first 5 seconds.
Wait, I got to share with sound.
Yeah, the amount.
And it's just.
Well, you're gonna have to show my ass here. I don't know if that's okay. All right, guys.
Dude.
What is up? It is show day. It is 11:26.
show started at 10. They have most of the women's classes like men's physique up first. Then there's a little conditioning, and then a few more classes. I think there's like women's bodybuilding, women's physique.
I pinned the comment. Look at the first comment.
So I'm expecting probably be on
most of the women's classes like men's physique up first.
Like
That's awesome.
Didn't film yesterday. I just want to relax.
I think I made this
really
video.
Fucking like had my game face on.
Yeah, no, go back, back.
Feel like I was getting out of that groove by talking too much.
Back.
You know, getting.
Oh yeah.
This is us doing ours right there.
No. Yeah. It's like it's nothing. We're
hanging out. All right.
Then we do our. This is our shot of vodka there.
All right, I'm going to show you guys the secrets of the pros. I hate watching myself on camera.
Yeah.
You have to bring your own pepper shaker, salt shaker, salt grind.
Just peppering food. You need that pre-staged pepper.
Well, it brings the veins out.
The dead homies.
How's that? All right, delicious. So you guys.
Oh yeah, that was it there.
Check out Ian's channel. Check out the lead up to the Toronto. Okay, men's physique. Ian, you were in disagreement about this because you said guys are just going to have smaller and smaller legs.
Well, but Tyler said right away in his video that he's like, this is the first thing we thought of, that people were going to say this, and we absolutely will make sure that he has a caveat to this in some way. I didn't watch the video, but they have protective measures against this. So as long as that isn't the case, then I don't really see a problem. I'm also a body, like, I want to see everyone fucking jacked out of their goddamn mind. Like, I don't care if it's men's physique or classic or men's bodybuilding. I want to see everybody as goddamn huge and freaky as possible. So I don't like it, but I completely understand it.
I'm the opposite. I feel like if you have classes, they should have criteria, and that criteria should be met.
Yeah, but I mean, like, either way, men's physique and classic are different. One's wearing board shorts and they're hitting different poses. I don't really care, like, what they look like.
No. It's not because
how big their upper body is compared to a classic physique guys.
No. I don't mean it's because it's too much like classic. I mean, like, if you're trying to introduce new people to the sport.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question.
No. Let me finish my thought for a second.
No,
so,
I'm going to okay, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So what I was going to say is this. The whole point of men's physique in the beginning, they did it because the WBFF was doing it.
Sure.
And a lot of guys who are either natural, or a lot of guys who maybe don't want to get fucking massive are like, oh, this is a cool class for me. I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those guys are fucking too small now. So they got to get huge. Like they got to.
But I like progression sports, and I like lack of attainability. I think when you're talking about anything in the world level, it shouldn't be attainable looking.
See, I think
talking about guys running a 9-second 100-meter, it's not fucking attainable to almost everyone. We don't be like, well, let's like lower the standards.
Yeah,
here.
but no, we're not lowering standards. You're still. I feel like when it comes to bikini, and it comes to.
I agree.
Let me finish.
For sure.
Let me finish my thought. When it comes to bikini and it comes to men's physique, those are genetic classes. More so. No, they all are, but more so, right? Because if you have less muscle, it's easier to get there. Then it depends on what your physique looks like.
Can I ask a quick question here?
Yeah.
Now think of any men's open guy that's that big and put them in board shorts, they're going to look terrible. So obviously more muscle isn't going to make you better at men's physique past the point. No matter how muscular you get, there will be a point where other things start to grow, and it does hinder your aesthetics and your look. So I think until that point is reached, get as fucking jacked as possible.
I'm not disagreeing.
Be fucking humongous with crazy waist and look like absolute cartoons. Like, no matter how small your waist is, all us guys in men's open, if I put on board shorts and I hit a pose, I'm going to look like a fucking numpty, man. Like, I'm going to look terrible.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is, if we're trying to appeal to a different demographic, the size, the men's physique.
Well, I think you're appealing to the demographic at the amateur level, though.
Wait a minute. No,
it's a progression all the way to the Olympia,
But wait a minute. What if these guys don't want to get that big? I'm saying, like, look at, okay, if I work out and I want to look good, but I don't want to get fucking jacked.
Yeah.
There's nothing for me. Right? Where if you say, listen, men's physique is not about getting jacked. It's about how pretty you can make your physique.
And about getting jacked.
Classic is about getting jacked to a certain weight. Open is about getting super fucking jacked. It's different levels, right?
Yeah, I agree. They're different levels, but I think the levels are pretty like self-contained in the look. If that makes sense. Like, because like I'm saying, like, there's going to be a point where more muscle is going to make you look worse in men's physique, and I think it should always be better, bigger, better all the time. unless it's compromising the look within the class. Like, obviously, if Chris was bigger and started to be 260 on stage, he wouldn't look nearly as aesthetic. I looked way more aesthetic at 225 than I look now.
Of course.
Sure.
Of course.
And the men's physique guys are lighter and smaller, and they look even more aesthetic.
I
Because
think
as you grow, even your waist will grow, your aesthetics will change. They're not going to be the same. So I think as long as you still have that look, like the look of the class, I don't think that it could really be contained within a weight, you know?
I think we're saying two different things.
Okay.
Our arguments are passing by each other. So in a sense of saying the biggest you can get and still look good is men's physique, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Where I'm coming at it from is growing the sport. We're saying, look, these are 3 different sizes you can attain.
There's still 3 different sizes though, even if we don't contain it in weight caps, and they haven't had weight caps till this day. And look, guys are still getting bigger, but I still think that at the amateur look and building up from there to the Olympia look, there still is a progression. I think there's still attainability throughout all those, you know? So
no, but what I'm saying is the classic guys at the Olympia level, upper body anyways, are almost the same size as the classic guys, as the men's physique guys.
Sure, but then to have good flow with showing your legs is now a different class, because a lot of these men's physique guys, even if they have developed legs, they still don't look good in classic physique shorts, even if they're proportionate. It's a different look because you are hiding the legs.
I understand your argument. I understand your argument 100%.
It's like, you take a guy like Sadiq, and like, you know, his look in men's physique to me, like, is very different than his look in classic physique. And because once you expose the legs, it looks very different.
Yeah, you know? but Sadiq would be a good standard to set when you start saying,
sure,
some of these guys are fucking way bigger than Sadiq.
In men's physique, for sure they are. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is, like, I think Sadiq should be, and I'm not saying his physique because I don't know men's physique that well, but I'm saying Sadiq's size should be the standard.
I still think you want to have the essence of the sport building muscle, you know? And I think especially with men's divisions, like, I think that should still always be the essence of the sport. Once you make it too much about,
that's already not though, Ian. It's already not. The
with women's classes, I don't
know. The essence of the sport in classic is not about building muscle, it's about shape.
Well, no, but it's still about building muscle. These guys are extremely muscular. I'm saying, like, your root of it, like, building shape is attained by building muscle.
What I'm saying to you, wait,
if you don't have any muscle, you're not going to have any shape, you know?
Agreed. But if we had to put 1, 2, 3, you would go.
No matter how pretty your shape is at the Olympia, if you don't have enough muscle,
just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Hear me out. Let's say you had 1, 2, 3 in order: muscularity, shape, conditioning, right? When you look at open men's bodybuilding, muscularity is the most important.
Sure. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
When you look at classic, shape is the most important. Right? Yes. Chris is not necessarily.
I guess we're arguing a different thing here. I'm just saying that I think the foundation of this sport, of bodybuilding, of any of these things, is getting in the gym and building muscle. So, like, I don't like it being limited to that degree. Like, I understand what you're saying, and that.
But classic is limited.
Well, classic is limited, but I don't think men's physique needs to be limited because it's different. You're not showing your legs. Bodybuilding and classic physique, the trunks are almost the same now. So you don't want it to become the same class. You want to make that the thing they're looking for primarily, like you're saying, aesthetics. I understand that. I'm not disputing that at all. I'm still saying it's all based on training and building muscle. And I think for men's physique, because you're not showing the legs, the look is very different. So as long as you can still get super muscular and still maintain that look, because it will be lost at a certain size.
Let me ask you this.
You should still be rewarded for it.
What do you think the point is of wearing board shorts? Why do you think they did that?
Well, obviously, I'm sure to have less muscularity, to bring guys muscular.
The whole point of the board shorts was this is supposed to be the beach body
modeling,
right? So bikini.
Yeah, but nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to watch that.
Wait a minute. Bikini is the beach body. Yeah. Men's physique is the equivalent on the men's side. That's why they
a little bit more extreme, but I do.
That's why they put them in more.
Because the women, there's more classes, so they're smaller increments difference. Ours are kind of like 3 bang, 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 you know?
But that's why they put them in board shorts, because it's supposed to be when it originally started.
Yeah, maybe when it was originally started, but I mean, I think that progression and changes in that sport are not necessarily a bad thing. It shouldn't be like, well, that's because that's how it started, it should remain that way. I don't agree with that sentiment. I think just because you started that way, it doesn't mean you can't evolve and grow and change the look and make it more competitive and more elite. You know, I think when it's based just like the beach body, nobody's going to want to watch that in our market. Like the guys that are watching Classic Physique and are watching Men's Open, watching the Nick Walkers and the Chris Bumsteads of the world, they do not want to watch fucking model boys on stage. They want to see fucking freakazoids. And
But we're not
300-pound freakazoids,
Yeah.
but these guys are shaped freakazoids, and they're accentuating that with awesome muscularity, you know?
Yeah. You make a good point.
Yeah, you do.
Because like I
I
said,
think of it.
for me, it's really sorry. One more thing, and then
Yeah.
I think it's like I'm saying, and I said from the beginning, I think there's always a point where the look is lost. Just like in classic physique, you could have it where you get too big that you don't look classic. No matter how pretty a guy like Cedric was, if he was in classic physique, he would look really out of place.
Yeah,
you know, it wouldn't
yeah.
look good. That's not a classic physique, even though it is deemed that for a bodybuilder.
Yes.
So I think even with no weight caps, if there wasn't, I think that it's still, the classes are kind of self-sustained. So I think with men's physique guys, yeah, eventually if they get too big, well, then you're going to start placing worse, homie. I mean, that's how it is. You know, like if you get too big, you're not going to look as aesthetic. Your waistline will change. The flow of the physique will change, just like it has for every guy that's moved into the open. And I think at that
So
point,
you don't.
yes,
So
the
one,
look is gone, and you need to change something or move up. You know.
so one last question, Paul. I'll let you jump in. So you don't have a problem with the men's physique guys being the same size as the classic guys. You don't think that's a
Make them
problem?
bigger for all I care. I mean, they can be as big as you goddamn want, as long as you still look like a men's physique guy.
Okay, go ahead, Paul. What were you going to say?
I think Ian makes some good points. However, I do think I agree with you, Fouad. I think that it should be, the look, in my opinion, should be more of a fitness model type look. So that's going to incorporate like everything then, like your presentation, your face, your hair, like the way you present yourself on stage. But so like I think like although like what I think of as an ideal men's physique guy is like a Ryan Terry.
Yeah.
You know, like he's not as big as like an Aaron Banks, but he's got
what
like
I think of.
that's what I think of, and I think that's, in my opinion, that's the ideal that should be pushed. But I get it, like you said, the progression.
How does it get? It gets impossible to not reward a guy like Aaron that is not that much necessarily bigger than him. But when you put him next to, he just looks fucking awesome. You know.
Agreed. So, and what do you give as feedback as a judge when someone says, "Well, why did that guy beat me? Because he's prettier." You know what I mean? Like,
but
you have to have something solid for them to work with.
Yes,
so that's why I do agree with the weight caps.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what they're going to set it at. Are they going to set it below classic? I imagine they will. But
what Tyler I think said they've been doing is weighing all the guys at the pro shows, and they're going to weigh them throughout the season, kind of find like, okay, the guys that are a little big on the side of this class, this is kind of their average weight. The guys that are a little smaller, okay, let's find a number, and this is like the average kind of weight of guys that look like they fit the class.
And I wonder what that. And I wonder what that number will settle at. You know, if it'll be less than classic. Or
it'll really show. It'll be a very good indicator in terms of the less level of muscularity compared to the classic physique guys, right there. Because like if the guys at 5'10" are weighing the same or even more than the guys that are 5'10" at classic, what's showing that they are carrying that much muscle in their upper body because they don't even have necessarily as good legs. Some of them do train their legs just as much. Yeah. But as an average, they wouldn't. And if the weights are on par, well, it's really demonstrating how muscular they are. You know.
Yeah. Mike, what do you think about this? Anything? Or you don't even pay
when
attention
I think about men's physique, I think about nothing. I'm fascinated that we're still talking about it. I've been like praying for it to end the whole time we've been talking about it. No offense, men's physique guys, but like I just don't give a shit.
All right, let's move on.
That was the best.
Enough said.
Well said. Yeah, that's good.
Do whatever fucking weight you want. Get off the stage so the bodybuilders can get up there.
Oh, that's good.
All right. Okay, questions. Higher. No, we answered that one before. Would you no? These are kind of fucking. All right, let me skip to a different. Let me skip to a different session of questions. We'll do some older ones here. Paul, are we gonna have a black background? Because everybody's like, I think
they've already made it for you.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you something? We talk so much shit about other shows that we're so fucked.
We
You have
fucked ourselves.
to
I know.
go back through all the footage and be like, what did we say we were going to do?
Yeah.
Shit on, you know?
We no matter how much money sponsors give us, we have to have a black background.
Gotta have black
Yeah,
background,
that's sorry.
theaters, can never be in a gym. Got to be in
You
a
can have
theater.
like Redcon's gonna come to us and be like, "We'll give you $100,000." We're like, "Sorry, we gotta have a black background."
We can't put your logo anywhere. I'm sorry.
Well, look, if we have a stage like we have at our show in Toronto, we'll be totally fine. Because for those of you who don't know, it's a black curtain and there's an LED screen, like a TV, but it's up higher. So when the bodybuilders are on stage, you see the black curtain behind them, and the people in the audience see the screen above them. So it doesn't affect photos.
You just have to do everything in 3M, so it only shows up in the photo.
What do you
3M
mean?
in the background. Oh, it's black on black, but it's 3M reflective when the flash hits it. You guys are there. Trust me. When you see the photos, you're gonna see Redcon.
If we don't get the fucking lighting right and the fucking curtain, we're fucking so setting ourselves up for just a
Or if you have a bad live stream.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Forgot
for sure.
about that. We got to make sure we nail that too. Fuck.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, dude. I don't know. When you talk about blood work being read differently for bodybuilders, do you also have different parameters for blood pressure? No. Blood pressure is the same. I mean, it could be elevated like 5 or 10 points possibly because of your size, but blood pressure is blood pressure. You want it to be like 120/80 is the standard, I believe.
Yeah, and you don't want to be trending upwards, you know.
Yeah.
That's important thing.
Go ahead, Paul.
If they're going up,
trends with blood work and stuff like this are, I think, one of the most important things.
Yeah, we should actually touch on that because that's one thing that people always get wrong. They'll do like one blood work panel and they'll freak out.
Yeah,
but a lot of things can affect your blood panel. Like if you were dehydrated when you did it, if you trained the day before you did it, like there's a lot of different things.
That's honestly one of the most common ones I hear, and it seems so simple to us when we hear it. But as guys like with their creatinine or CK scores, and they'll be like, "I trained legs the day before," but then it'll be sky high, and they'll be like freaking out. Half of these guys that are messaging me this are natural, even they're like, "Are my kidneys failing?" I'm like, "Dude, go take 2 days off training, redo this blood work. It's gonna quarter, you know."
And then even sorry, go ahead, Paul. No,
I was gonna say that I had this new this is going back about 10 years ago. I had this new doctor that I was trying out. And he did my first blood panels that I did with him. My CK levels were off the charts.
Yeah.
And he called me in. He was like, either you've already had a heart attack or one's about to happen. But either way, we got to do some more tests on your heart. And I was like, it's just my CK. It's always like that. And he just never had a patient before that weight trained probably.
Yeah. Listen, that's why. And look, I'm sorry about this plug, but I get my stuff done through them. So I'm just going to say it. That's why it's important, like, to go to somebody like Merrick. You don't have to go to Merrick. I go to Merrick. I trust them. But like, it's important because I've gone to regular doctors too. You know, my first time I got blood work done, I went to a doctor and my liver enzymes were 42 and normal was 39.
Yeah.
The guy calls me. He's like, "Hey, we got a problem. You got to come in." So the secretary called me. He's like, "Doctor wants to see you." So I come in there. He's like, "Doctor's like, we got a problem. Your liver score is elevated." I'm like, "What is it?" He's like, 42. I'm like, "What's normal?" He's like, 39. I'm like, "It's only 3 points." But I didn't know any better at this time.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Well, that's elevated. We got to be careful." I find out like a year later after talking to a real doctor, he's like, "Dude, until you get to like 150, 200
and be there for
a while, it's nothing."
Especially with liver, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, your liver can regenerate. It's nothing.
Like, look, for everyone listening, you don't want to have your liver 150.
No, I'm not saying that.
Any of your numbers in this, you absolutely don't want it.
No,
but when we're talking about like severity of things, like that's
what about 170?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
I'll tell you
3 digits.
I'll tell
as
you.
long as it's not for like 20 years. You're
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you though, for the kidney issues I've had, my liver enzymes never went over 100. Like through all the blood work panels I've ever done, my liver enzymes have always hovered between 70, 80, 90 max.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but bodybuilders aren't known to have liver issues, are they? Like I obviously orals are part of the liver.
It depends. You can't say that because it depends what the bodybuilder's doing. Typically, listen,
propensity for things like
listen. Obviously it depends on your genetics, right, and how fast you expel toxins and all that. So the hyper responder thing is actually real, but depends how much orals they're taking. Depends if they drink on the weekends. Depends, like there's a lot of fucking things that go into like
I didn't mean to
hydration, like everything, you know.
I just meant like you don't typically see those issues in bodybuilders though. It's more like blood pressure, kidneys, heart.
I think
You don't
nowadays,
usually see liver being an issue.
well, now it's not an issue because nowadays guys don't do orals like they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back
And
in
they're
the
also probably
day,
aren't what they used
I
to
use
do.
a lot more injectables now and a lot less.
back in the day, D-balls and anadrols were a popular thing to use.
Yeah.
So I think you saw more liver enzyme issues before than you do now. I don't
Yeah.
hear a lot of people using a lot of orals nowadays.
And I wonder if orals are the same quality that they used to be.
No, they're definitely not. But I don't know if
Yeah.
that's why. I honestly think it's because most of the people that are in bodybuilding now, because of podcasts like this or John Jewett's podcast, or like, there's just so much more information. I don't think people are willing to go to that length knowing that they don't have to. Like, you can still get big without taking anadrol or D-ball. So why?
But you know what I see a lot in my day to day, like some of the guys I know, like guys who aren't bodybuilders, guys who just go to the gym a few nights a week, and just want to look good, in their pools in the summertime. They don't like to inject themselves, so they'll take orals any day over injectables.
Yeah, but
I always tell them that's
like
stupid, but
party drugs. Yeah.
But most
Yeah.
of those guys are, be honest, like most of the guys I know that do that are taking Anavar, Winstrol.
Anavar or D-ball. D-ball is pretty
We'll do
popular.
like a D-ball
but,
in the winter,
Is it? Do they? Are these guys taking D-ball too?
Bro,
yeah, they'll
they
take
do
D-ball for sure. But you're right. Anavar is the most common.
They do bulkers and cutters, bro. Of course, seasonal.
Yeah.
But I try to tell these guys, like,
Fuck
you're
You do
doing.
bulkers in the winters, bulkers in the winters,
cutters.
cutters in the summer, bro.
You know what? I don't give
You
a
want to
fuck.
shred up? Bar,
Okay,
dude.
wait a minute.
Bar, Whitney, and Clen, bro.
T3. Take a lot of it.
You guys can suck my ass. Mike and Paul, you guys don't know what the fuck he's doing right now.
What?
A long time ago, I said something about taking cutting drugs,
Yeah.
and they started fucking ripping on me as if it
Yeah.
wasn't a thing. And I'm like,
I
it's a
remember that.
fucking thing.
No,
It's
of
a
course
thing.
it's a thing. It's just hilarious, like when you say it, like bulkers and cutters. It's so fucking
like uppers and downers.
insane. It's hilarious.
It's like it's like an upper or a downer.
Why is it hilarious though? If it's true,
It's just funny because it's like such a bodybuilding cliche saying it like
Yeah.
that.
it's a
You know,
boomer.
like-
Is it a boomer thing to say? Is that why?
It's a little boomery, yeah, but it's funny. It's just awesome.
Okay. A famous person not in bodybuilding that you met and was totally disappointed due to their personality or etc.
Oh, I got a couple of those.
I don't. Lou Ferrigno. That's the only one.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I met him
I-
a couple times.
because I bumped into him by accident,
I was there.
and you remember, and I was like,
He-
I
He
was like,
shouldered you. He did. Me and Fouad are walking through. We were in Florida, Fouad, or
Yeah.
Dallas, I forget.
Florida.
Anyways, we're walking through this big like auditorium, whatever, to get to the show, and there was a lot of people. Where me and Fouad
What
are
show
talking to
is
each other.
An Olympia?
No,
no, it was
Europa, I want to say.
maybe, yeah, Europa. He
Yeah.
used to go there and sell his pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you couldn't get a picture unless you paid for it. But anyways, yeah, someone fucking like shoulders Fouad while we're walking. He's like, "What the fuck?" We turn around, and it's Lou Ferrigno. He's just walking by casually.
Yeah, but he looked back and gave you a dirty look.
They looked back. It was so
Remember?
many
Yeah,
years
he
ago now, I
looked.
couldn't
He looked
remember now.
back. I was like, what the fuck? What did I do? But
Yeah,
that's the only time.
I met Danny Glover, and I was disappointed.
Why?
Really?
And who wants
Yeah,
to
I
meet
was
Danny?
working.
And who wants to meet Danny Glover?
Well, at the time he was famous. This is after what was that movie he was in? That
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at work, and limo pulls up, and I was like, who do you got in the back? And it's like Danny Glover. I was like, oh, can I talk to him?
You're like,
So
I
I just wanted to meet him.
Mr. Lethal Weapon himself.
Yeah, but he couldn't. Yeah, he didn't have the time of day for me.
what do you
I was
mean?
just bothering him.
Wait a minute. You said, can I talk to? Walk me through it. You said, can I talk to him? Then what happened?
Yeah, so like a limo pulled up. Right, I'm working.
What
at
were
the
you going to
border.
talk to him about?
I don't know. I just wanted to shoot. the
No.
shit,
Let him
see if
finish.
I can-
Let him finish. So limo pulls up. Go ahead. You're in the booth.
So I talked to the driver. Like, you got someone in the back. He's like, yeah. I'm like, who do you got? And he's like, Danny Glover. And I was like, oh. And I can't remember if he handed me his passport, or I believe he did. I think he had his passport up front with the driver. So, and I was like, oh yeah, let me talk to him. So he pulls up, and I was like, how you doing, Mr. Glover? And he was just like, yeah. And I was like, and I was
Should
like,
get out of the car.
yeah, yeah. I asked. him a
Yeah,
couple
you should have
questions.
went. Why didn't you just fucking go hard on him then? Be like, you know what? Fuck you then. Pull over.
Yeah, I'll be on
He
TMZ
was
for
he
fucking.
was driving across the border in a limo.
Yeah, I don't know where he was going, but I'll tell you another story though. Dan, so another time I'm working, and I just reached out. Sometimes I'll just reach out, grab a passport, without looking at the person, and I look, and then I'm looking at that passport, and I'm like, it's fucking Dan Aykroyd. So, and he's driving by himself in a car, like it was just a regular car too. It wasn't like
This is
anything
like
special.
ultimate like '90s movies cast shit here,
Yeah. So I was like, hey, you're Dan Aykroyd. He's like, yeah. And I was like, man, I'm a big fan. Like, I love Coneheads. And he's just like, oh, thanks, man. But he was actually pretty cool.
You should have pulled out Ghostbusters. That would have been better, man.
Yeah, probably.
I was just gonna say that's probably the least favorite movie he's ever done.
Like,
Coneheads,
really?
Well, he did that skit on Saturday Night Live for a long time too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was cool.
If stranded and one of the members got bit by a venomous snake on the oh, fuck off.
Someone asked that question before, I think. If you suck the venom out?
Suck the venom out or something?
Yeah. I got to
Thoughts
check
on-
on the kids. One sec.
Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead. Thoughts on the next generation of bodybuilding? I'm 17, and from my view, it might go to crap because of all these lazy and have no drive to do anything. Was it like that with your generation too, or does it change over time?
Wait, is this me then? Is he referring to me?
No, he's 17, so he's probably talking about like 20 to 25-year-olds, maybe.
Oh, I thought he was talking about like the current crop of pros like that people watch,
I don't know. I think he's saying the thoughts on the next generation of bodybuilding. So I think he means
like guys coming up now.
Oh,
I think he
okay.
mean- I think
Guys
he
that
means
are like
after
like
you. Yeah.
young guys now that are coming up. Like as
I disagree with this.
I don't know, to be honest. I don't follow amateur bodybuilding close enough, but it's tough to say, man. Like,
No, but think about
you always perceive your ears as different,
No. Wait a minute. Think about the next generation. So the generation after you is Nick, Quint, that Yoan kid, good Vito.
Yeah,
I think we're heading into like an era of like there being more true genetic freaks than there's been in a long time. Like just naturally fucking freaks, not building their way to freakiness, like starting with the freak and just like
I think
it becomes something you can't imagine.
This is a symptom of social media, honestly, because I think now it's like these guys fucking post online, people can see it now, and it's like you see these guys with these fucking freaks of nature, the Andrew Jack, they end up on Larry Wheel's channel, they get fucking famous, like then they end up becoming a big thing in our industry. Like they're drawn here by social media now, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Look, I think to my own experience, there's definitely a different work ethic than there was back in the day. On the business side of things, I think on the bodybuilding side of things, though, I think guys are training just as hard, if not harder, because everybody can see each other now.
Yeah.
So I don't think, like back in the day, there was no social media. So if you fucked around for.
But wait, are you thinking of guys that are like young new pros, or are you thinking of guys that are like this guy's talking about upcoming bodybuilders, like kids that are just like a few years not aren't pros yet, just starting off?
I don't really know any top amateurs, so I'm thinking of all the pros between 24 and 30.
Yeah, they're all very promising.
Like Derek, Nick, fucking that, like I said, Yoan, Quint. I don't know how old Raphael is, but like Regan. So you have some like that younger crop. There's a lot of fucking good bodybuilders, and they all train hard.
Yeah,
like Derek has made significant improvements in like
leaps and bounds every year.
Yeah. So it's like, I think, social media can be fucking shitty, but I think at the same time, I was watching that Arnold documentary. I don't know if you guys watch it on Netflix. It's really, really
2 parts.
Yeah, it's
really the last part still.
It's really, really good. And one of the things he was saying is that one of the things that made him so good was having Sylvester Stallone around when it came to the movies, because him and Sylvester Stallone would compete.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched it. But anyway, if you didn't already know that, but the point is, it's good to have a nemesis because it makes you better. So I think with social media, it's the same thing. Nick can see what Derek's doing
and how he's looking, and like
Derek,
fucking motor,
Derek can see that Quint is around the fucking corner. Like they all see good Vito over there putting in fucking work. Like, so I think social media is actually making these guys work. Like look at Hunter. Look at Hunter.
More accountable. Yeah.
Look at Hunter. Hunter's most recent photos looks.
I shit my pants when I saw those.
Night and fucking day. Like the guy has turned his physique around like never.
He's changed since last Olympia. The improvements are wild to me. Yeah.
But I think it's. I don't want to say easier, but I think it's. If you want to use motivation as a thing, I think it's easier to stay motivated when you can see your competition every day and you're like, fuck, man, I got to get on it.
Yeah, which but also probably raises anxiety in a lot of ways too for people. But there's good and bad that comes with that.
But it doesn't. But I mean, like that's a perfect example. Like me seeing Hunter, that's like in my wheelhouse, you know.
Yeah.
Like you know, that's a guy I'm chasing now, you know.
Yeah.
Like you know, I'd had one where I won against him, and then every time I've lost since, and I'm like trying to get that one back. Like I want to redeem myself. So that's what I'm chasing. So like when I see those, to me, the anxiety, it's more of like an excitement. It's like, fuck, like, you know, this guy's killing this. I want to chase this, you know?
Well, I don't think it works that way for everybody, though. I think Paul's right. I think some people have like almost a crippling anxiety.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck.
But I think even if it's crippling to them, I still think it
you still work through it. You work through
it. You still work through it mentally, and it still pushes you in some way. You know, no one making it to this level, if they completely shut down in any kind of adversity, they wouldn't have ended up this level of bodybuilding anyways. You know?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You would have fallen off the fucking grid, like as an amateur, not being able to handle the pressure of fucking nationals, or you know, cheating on your diet because you fucking had a bad day at work. You know?
Yeah, but like a self-sabotager.
Yeah, and just emotion-based decisions. You know?
What would you tell people who look in the mirror and always think they are too small and don't look good?
Get used to it.
Yeah, you're a bodybuilder.
I tell them, Mike, you look all right, man.
Positive thinking.
You know what though? Wait a minute. This is interesting because I think you have to. It depends on the people. If I say I'm small, people are like, "Oh, what are you talking about? You're 260." It's like,
it's not so
relative.
When you speak. When people speak, it's all relative to what they want to achieve or who they're competing against.
Like I clearly know I'm not 135-pound twig boy here. Like I obviously know that, you know.
Yeah. Like I used to post progress photos and be like, I'm fat right now. People are like, oh, you still have abs, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not. It's relative. It's relative to like being in shape.
Well, and also to your profession and the guys doing what you do as well, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
The thing with social media, keeping you accountable, not look like a fucking fat slob too, you know?
So if somebody looks in the mirror and thinks they're small all the time, ask them what their fucking goal is, and then maybe they are small.
Yeah.
If their goal is to be a pro bodybuilder and they only weigh fucking 200 pounds and they're 5'10",
you're still small.
Yeah, you're fucking small, dude. Go to work.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Paul, you're gonna say
something.
Or
your body dysmorphia is coming along just fine.
Yeah,
very good. You're on the road to the pros, man.
Road to success. Yeah.
Especially if you step on the scale and you're 250 and you're like, man, I'm a bitch. Yeah, you're probably on your
way. Does Summer help and know about the formulas for hostile products? Summer has a research and science background, so yes, Summer knows everything about the formulas. Most pros always say don't do gear because it's not healthy and can mess you up in many ways, especially down the road. But all pros take PEDs and most appear to be fine, like Ian, Sebum, Samson, etc. Even bodybuilders who have been taking large amounts into their early 40s, like Bonac, Dexter, etc. So doesn't that prove that they aren't nearly as bad as long as they are done smart? No, that doesn't fucking prove anything. But go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, if you only want to live to that age, like it could be, you know what I mean? Like if living to 45 is impressive to you, if living to 50 is impressive to you, if that is your standard of, is it okay? Well, then yes, they are completely fine if that is your standard. If your standard is compared to the normal life of a human male being 75 to 80, 85 years old, then no, it's obviously there's going to be a variance in bodybuilders there, and it depends what your scale is, you know?
Can I also say something? Listen, quality of life matters too. So just because there's a lot of things you guys don't hear about, like I'm very open with my health on purpose because I'm like, I want people to know what could potentially go wrong if they're not careful.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that don't say shit about their health. So you don't know how many people have kidney issues. You don't know how many people have heart issues. You don't know how many people have. So even if you're not dead, let's say you live till you're 70, right? 80, 90, but you have serious ailments.
Yeah. From 45.
Let's say you're 60 and now you have a serious ailment to deal with and you live till you're 85. Well, you just had 25 years of fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just because you're not dead doesn't mean you don't have anything to deal with.
It doesn't mean you're living. Yeah.
So if we're telling you steroids aren't healthy, we're not saying it because we don't want anybody to do, because we already did it. So we're not being hypocrites. We're just saying, look, there's a lot of things you should consider, and death isn't the only one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, good point.
Okay, let's do one more and then we'll go. Arnold, Stallone, or Van Damme?
Arnold.
For what?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's all it says.
I watch whose movies
For
I want
anything.
to watch. Or
Let's
who do I
say
just like?
okay, let's not
Who
say
do I
physique.
like the most.
Let's not say physique because we're all going to pick Arnold. So let's say whose movies are the
Just
best.
anything. Arnold and Sly.
Probably Stallone.
Whose movies are the best? Don't say Arnold and Sly. It's two people.
No, it's Arnold then Sly.
Oh, Arnold.
See,
then
if you
Sly.
say
My
overall
preference.
body of their work for their careers, Stallone.
Have you guys seen his
Stallone's
newest
got some
show?
good movies, man.
What have you guys
Arnold
seen?
Where he's the mafia guy in the town?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
Tulsa Kings. Yeah.
I
You see
Mike,
Arnold's new movie?
Mike, it's so fucking cliche. It's amazing. It's so
I
great.
heard about it.
Have you seen Fubar?
Yeah, I watched the first episode. It's kind of cheese dick.
Yeah, that's the only one I watched.
It's a little.
He's got to
too-
think about like with Stallone though, like all the Rockies and like everything. I mean, it's like
Rambo, like
Rambo 1. Oh,
Rambo.
yeah, like
Oh
and,
yeah.
like Schwarzenegger had great movies like Terminator 2 and everything, but it's like
True
Rocky
Lies.
movies are like fucking yeah.
Yeah, but I was thinking
Yeah.
more like his life
They
though.
both
That
had
was-
some pretty fucking awesome.
No,
movies.
no. Don't think life. Let's
You
think.
thinking just movies?
Just movies.
Yeah,
So I'm-
yeah. So that's for Stallone's had some great ones.
If they're
The
going by
Rockies and the Rambos.
if they're going by box office, Arnold wins. But if we're
Well,
going
no,
by
it's a simple question and just frame it. If you could only watch one person's movies, who's you choosing?
Stallone,
Would you?
Yeah, because there's a more variety of like
dude, I could
shit.
watch
Watch
all.
Stallone movies forever. Yeah.
I could watch all the Rockies and all the Rambos over and over again, and
I could
never
too.
it's like
Yeah.
whereas Predator, I'm like, okay, cool, but I don't want to watch it again.
Terminator, Commando.
I don't want to watch them. Like once I watch them
They're
once,
good.
I'm like,
They're all really good movies,
Yeah.
but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's something about the Rockies and the Rambos and the fucking
What's the Arnold?
Yeah, because they're more like
What's the
they're
Arnold?
fran-
What's the Arnold Christmas movie? What's that one called?
Jingle All the
with
Way.
Tom
All
Arnold.
the way. That one. That's a good one. With the fucking
know.
robot shit, the doll he was trying to get. Yeah, that's a good movie.
what do
How
we
about
have?
Twins?
Twins. Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Because Arnold has got some pretty funny fucking movies too. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not iconic.
No, they're
not as iconic as the Rambos and Rockies.
Well, because
Terminator
I
2
think-
is definitely Arnold's best. Terminator
Yeah,
2.
yeah, that was
That's
probably
the
his
best.
biggest grossing one too. But I
I
think
don't
because
think so. I think
No?
True Lies. I think True Lies was.
was it
Really?
really?
No, I think they said in the documentary that Terminator 2
Yeah.
hit like 600 million worldwide.
Holy
Some
shit.
shit. 400
Stallone's
million.
had movies though with a lot of sequels. You know, like Rocky's up to what, like
And
7 or 8.
they've all been good and done well. You know.
Yeah, now Creed 2 is kind of like a spinoff from that.
And Expendables.
Expendables,
They
Arnold's in
both
that
did
too.
They both did Expendables.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Okay. Batman and Robin says here. 11 high. Oh no, this is one.
Oh,
Terminator
yeah,
2.
he was Mr. Freeze. Remember?
Terminator
Oh, that's
2.
right. Yeah.
And then True Lies. And then Terminator
Yeah.
3, Total Recall, Twins.
So Google, who's got the higher grossing movies? Him or Stallone?
Oh, it's definitely Arnold.
Yeah.
for sure.
Because Terminator 2 grossed more than like fucking most of Stallone's movies.
Yeah, for sure.
This is shit. Get out of here. Don't want to read. Who's worth more, Arnold or Sylvester? No.
Well,
Go to the showdown. Career
Wait, how much
Showdown.
money has Arnold Schwarzenegger? No. Career Showdown. There we go.
like that.
Box office. Let's begin. Blah blah blah. How many started? Blah blah blah. Sylvester Stallone with lifetime gross
Whoa.
1.8 billion.
Wow.
Narrowly defeating Schwarzenegger, a total of 1.7 billion.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why does it say Schwarzenegger as the result?
Unfortunately, with all these numbers, those numbers are lies, true lies. Sorry, Schwarzenegger grossed 1.7 billion with significantly smaller pool of movies.
Ah.
Oh, so they're saying he had less
Less movies.
movies.
So his
Per
average,
movie, he made
his average grossing, he made more per movie. Yeah,
Yeah. I still go with
the
Stallone.
details matter. Yeah.
I don't want to say Stallone because I'm a Arnold fan more.
But I mean, that's also proving that he's just got a lot more fucking sick movies. You know, like
Yeah.
here,
he's
wait,
just got
Stallone's-
a bunch of good movies. You know,
let's do
Didn't
this.
Stallone start as a porn star?
no,
No.
really.
I thought his first movie I think was
No.
a porn. Like a softcore porn.
Wait, now I
I
gotta
don't know
find
why you know that. Pretty sure I saw him in a.
Let's look it up off screen here.
it. Yes, Paul's right.
No,
Yes. Where's Brandon now?
Sylvester
one, Brandon.
Stallone. Where's Brandon now? He's talking shit.
the 1970
Sylvester
softcore
Stallone stars
porn.
in 1970 softcore porn.
It was called the Italian Stallion.
6 years before he broke Rocky.
What the fuck?
It was called the Italian Stallion. What? No, it
What was it
wasn't.
called?
believe so. Yeah, I think it was.
It's a deep.
No, it wasn't. It was called Party and Kitty Studs. See,
Oh, okay.
you're only a little bit right, Paul.
I was partially right.
No, don't get.
I push it there.
Don't get carried away. You're trying to
Yeah.
fucking,
I
you're
got
like,
cocky with my right answer.
yeah, you
And to keep pushing.
Yeah.
you got cocky. You're like, I know everything. All right, let's take a look real quick here. Share movies. Okay, these are the movies. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. These all suck. Rambo, there we go. Look at the fucking movies.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I forget that he's in that too.
He's in that. I don't remember him in
He's
that.
he's a Ravager.
What's Grudge Match? I don't remember that.
This is his fight against De Niro. I think
Oh,
he's
yeah?
older, like Raging Bull.
Driven, Cliffhanger.
Judge Dredd.
Cliffhanger was great.
Cliffhanger.
Cobra. Cobra was great.
Over the Top. That's fucking great. I love Over the Top.
Throw Mama from the train. Or don't stop her. My
It
mom will
really,
shoot.
it really comes down to the Rambos and Rockies.
Doesn't he even Get Carter? Where's that movie at?
I don't
He
think
was
he was.
jacked in that movie.
Was he in Get Carter?
I don't remember that movie.
I remember the movie, but I thought The Rock was in it.
Oh. Dude.
Let's see here.
Jingle all the way. There it is.
Collateral Damage, Conan, Commando,
All the way,
Terminator,
bro. There you go.
Predator. I don't know.
Conan.
Guys, they're both. I think they're both really
Terminator.
defined by like two main movies.
Red Heat was a very
They're both like
Under.
defined by like a couple classics.
yeah.
Predator,
I
Terminator.
think that's going to be the majority of
Conan.
actors' careers. Is going to be defined by one bigger thing.
Does raise
Yeah, Stallone was in Get Carter. He's jacked in that.
Does being raised by gay parents influence a kid to be more likely to be gay?
I have no goddamn idea.
I would imagine so. What are you laughing about, Fouad?
Explain. Do you want to explain yourself, or
It's
just gonna
definitely
leave?
Environment and genetics are the two biggest things that shape someone. So your environment,
So if you grew up with two gay moms and you're a boy, then what?
Then you're a lesbian.
We're all lesbians. I'm trying to make sense.
That was good.
Obviously.
I'm trying to make sense.
We're all lesbians here.
Yeah,
I'm
hardcore.
trying to make
The
sense
lipstick
of your,
lesbians.
I'm trying to make sense of your theory here, Paul.
He's saying
Well,
that he believes there'll be a higher probability that the son is gay.
Yeah, because of what
No,
you're exposed to.
I know what he's saying. I'm trying to get him to explain it. So if both
Trying
parents
to get him
are
to dig a hole over here. I'm
Yeah, he
like,
wants me to. I'm going to take the bait too.
fucking Ian hasn't learned my techniques yet. Okay, we'll leave it. Okay, let's end it there. Boys, thank you, man. It's been a great time.
Yeah.
We'll see you boys next week.
I want to know what
guys.
happens to this hummus and fucking meatballs when I get off this fucking podcast.
He's not going to get off. My
You guys are rushing to get off.
It's
You
all
guys
the
are
end.
rushing
You know
to get us off.
We're all
Mike's
sitting
gonna-
like this.
Mike's gonna
See you
turn
guys.
off his turn off his video, but you still hear it.
Oh, you can do that. Put your hand over it.
See ya, boy.
Mike, Ian, you've heard about hummus and meatballs, right?
Yeah, this is like
Or
something for Paul, right?
Meatballs and hummus.
Meatballs and hummus.
Yeah. Basically, what happens is you guys leave, and then me and Paul talk about you guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Awesome.
It's kind of like what kids do at school.
Wait, do you leave these in the podcast sometimes? Is that where you do?
They're always in the podcast. Yeah,
Okay.
you guys leave, and then me and him talk for fucking half an
Okay,
hour
yeah,
about nothing.
Like, so what'd you think about Ian said back there?
Because you guys.
You know Ian's a lesbian?
I've never seen it.
I don't have shit to say today, so we're not gonna do meatballs and hummus.
Yeah, and I got to get my kids to bed.
All right, guys. We'll
All
see you
right,
next
guys.
week.
All right, we'll see you guys.
See you guys.
All right, Paulie, what's up?
Not much. They fell for it.
They fell for it.
It was the kids. When I said I had put the kids to bed.
Yeah, they're like, oh
That's
yeah,
what cemented it.
yeah, they're really gonna go. Forget it. So, what do you think about you know what we should do for meatballs and hummus? We should recap the podcast.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
So what did we talk about? I don't know if we should recap the podcast. I don't really care, actually.
Yeah, I wasn't listening to some of it.
Yeah, I can't. I have such a bad memory. I already forgot what we talked about. Do you think I should buy that motorcycle?
No.
Really? Eh?
No, I don't know. No.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
know me better.
Not because
you know me better than anybody.
I do. Yeah, you don't need something that you don't need it for. I mean, obviously you don't need it. You know,
I just got a fucking itch. You know how I am.
get it. I get it. Yeah.
You've known me for 25 years. You know, like when I get something in my fucking head,
oh, you're gonna buy it.
I can't get it out of my head until I've completed it.
I'm gonna see it in your driveway next week. I know it already. But I don't think you should. But you know, you're going to. But no, I get it. We talk about this all the time. Like that's what you like. You like speed. You like adrenaline. You know, and that's your thing. And so I understand it. You know, so it's not. I can't criticize you for it.
Mm. Yeah, it is kind of my thing. You're like the opposite.
Yeah, that doesn't excite me. Stuff like that. Like I don't like being.
What excites you? I don't mean sexually.
Yeah.
I mean like what?
Yeah.
What is like what is like? So for me, it's like.
Well, I'll tell you what. Like I was super excited to announce about Detroit. Like that's fucking. You know, I'm very proud of that. But
okay. Bodybuilding excites both of us for sure. Like when I'm dealing with the supplement company, like we got a lot of new drops coming out of. Like today we had a long meeting about like we got new drops like every week for the next 4 or 5 months. So I'm like super excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the podcast, like when we do the podcast, we all have a good time, we have a good laugh. I know it's fun. I get really excited. Same thing. But to me, these are all encompassed in bodybuilding.
Okay. Yeah. Like so even
same thing with the show. Like we got a pro show. It's going to be awesome. But it's all fits into the bodybuilding world.
Yeah.
So like cars and motorcycles are my other life.
Yeah. I get that. Well, I mean, you know, I get excited to do stuff with my kids. You know, like I like doing stuff with them that I like doing vacations and that.
You plus you go to Taya's basketball practices and games and shit all the time.
Yeah. Like so, I don't have anything I can point to that is like something that I like to do to
But you're like this. We've had this conversation before. Remember, I asked you one time. I was like, I think it was back in the day when I was reading a lot of like self-help books, and I asked you before if you had a vision board.
Yeah.
And you were like, "What the fuck's a vision board?"
Yeah.
and I was like, it's a board that you put like all the things you want to obtain in life.
Yeah.
Not necessarily material things. You could put your kids going to college. You could put, I want to buy a bigger house. I want to buy a car. I want to buy a boat. I want to have a good marriage, like whatever you put that thing on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you couldn't really give me anything. You were just like, all you said to me was, I just want to make sure my kids are happy.
Well, and
which is honest.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of material wants and needs. I'm more of the kind of person as if I have what I need, then I'm good. I don't have it.
Do you think
what makes me really just having like my family and friends, and they're all healthy and happy, and that's but I don't mean to sound like a fucking corny saying that. I don't have material things though that I chase.
I think those things, like the things you're mentioning, kind of are things that go without saying for me.
Yeah.
Like when Iain wins a show, I feel like, not even when Iain won the show. Remember at our guest posing? At our show when he was guest posing, he's in the audience and people swarmed him.
Yeah.
I went over to Melissa. Melissa was almost in tears, and I'm like, how fucking happy I am right now.
Yeah.
Like it just those things, or like when you started head judging or getting called to travel to judge, I'm like, this is so fucking awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like when Mike drops like new clothing and stuff, and he's like, I'm like, okay, this is really, really great. So, but those things kind of go without saying for me. Like that's
okay.
Those are obvious, and I'm not trying to like diminish it. Yeah. I feel those things too. I guess I'm saying, like, is there a hobby? Like the material things for me are my hobbies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if sorry to interrupt you, but it's like if you ask James would be like gaming, or like rollerblading.
But this is where I think we're a little bit different, Fouad, because like your career is also bodybuilding. Like this is where you make your money. You've built your career on it. I've got it. I didn't make money on bodybuilding. Like now we're promoting shows. We're doing.
I get it.
But I didn't make my money on bodybuilding. It's not my career. It's my hobby.
Now I get it.
Yeah. So
bodybuilding is your. So bodybuilding was my passion and my job, but for you, it's just your passion, like hobby.
It's my passion, and it's my escape from reality. Because I'm thankful for the job I have. I think I'm lucky to have the job I have, but I don't have any passion for it at all. Going to work is a struggle sometimes. Because I don't want to be there. There's many other things I'd rather be doing, but you got to make money. So I look at it a little bit different.
I feel fortunate that I was able to do what I love, because I don't think that's often the case for a lot of people.
No, it's
So
not.
I think I got lucky with that, and I think sometimes I take it for granted. So I'm always looking for something else because I can't. I don't know if it's healthy or not healthy, but I feel like if you're doing one thing 24/7, it could be detrimental to your mental health.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's not balance.
I feel like sometimes it's good to do something else. So like for me, you know, you see me like we'll go to the gym, I'll do some work, and then if I have a couple spare hours, I'll jump on my motorcycle and just go for a long ride.
Yep.
That's like my time away from life.
Yeah.
So your time away from life is like the podcast or judging or
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Because those are things that I love to do. It's not the
Yeah.
things that I have to do to make money.
I get it.
But that might change for me, you know, because if my plan goes according to, you know, the way I've set it out to be, I should be retired in about 4 to 5 years. And then I hope to transition to more full-time bodybuilding related business.
Well, I mean,
So maybe,
yeah, we've talked about opening a gym and stuff.
yeah, yeah. So maybe at that time I'll feel like I need something else to do, you know, to distract me from bodybuilding,
What would
you
that
know, or to escape.
What would that be?
Well,
If
you know, I talk, you know,
if you had to pick something.
I could see myself getting a bike one day and riding with you. I wouldn't, you know, I'm not the thrill seeker that you are. I get more of a comfortable cruising bike, but
Yeah.
I could see myself getting into that.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it.
I think I would too.
Maybe not though, because you're not really like you don't like driving. I like just driving, even just driving my car. I like.
I think
just
that's different. I think riding a motorcycle is different than driving. Driving
No,
to me,
it's definitely different. But I'm saying like I like some people get bored. Like Ben, like when I talk to Ben about riding motorcycles, Ben doesn't like. Ben uses a motorcycle for a mode of transportation.
okay,
Because when he rode motorcycles, like when he was in London, he didn't have a car. He just had a motorcycle. So when he got on his motorcycle, it was to go somewhere. For me, I get on my motorcycle and I cruise at the speed limit and I just ride for like a couple hours. But that's to Ben, that's boring.
but I wonder if it's because it was something new for you and for Ben been doing it his whole life.
Maybe.
You know what I like doing, Fouad? And I'm going to do it more this summer, soon, especially when the kids are done school in a couple more weeks. Cycling. I enjoy bike rides.
I would go bike riding with you.
Yeah, we got great trails where we live.
I would get the electric one though, so when I get tired, I can just.
That's not a bad idea. And I thought about that because these trails, I don't know if you tried them before on a bike, but I did last summer. A lot of them are uphill.
Well, we'll just ride. We'll use our own feet to do the downhill parts, and then when we go uphill, we'll just do the electric.
Yes, yeah. I think we should do that though.
I'll tell you
this summer.
No, I'll tell you the truth without fucking around. So Bassam, for those of you who don't know, my brother, actually all three of my brothers, they all have the electric / the hybrid ones, the ones that are like electric and not electric mountain bikes.
Yeah.
And they ride, and like one of my brothers showed me like the trail he rode, and it was like a fucking long ride. And I'm like, you rode that whole thing? He's like, no, I was like, he's like, yeah. And no, first he's like, yeah, I rode it. I'm like,
I remember you telling me this.
Okay, you fucking rode that whole fucking way. It's like, for those listening, it was like all the way around our county. And he's not like an in shape, you know, he's like, he works out a little bit. Like, he's like, well, I got the electric motor. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, so you rode a quarter of the way.
Yeah.
The bike did the rest.
I remember when you told me that story. I was cracking up.
No, but I think, have you ever gone on a bike ride and like you feel like you ride forever and you take off somewhere and you get there and you're like, fuck, I got to ride all the way back now.
Yeah.
That's why it would be nice to have the electric bike, because then you could just ride as far as you wanted, and then if you got tired, you could just kind of fucking coast on the way home. Just let the bike do the work. Yeah, I would do that with you. Those things are like $2 or $3 grand though.
For those bikes, for sure. Yeah, I got a good bike right now. I just got my there's one there's something on it broken, but
you have a self-propelled one. You don't have.
Yeah. I would invest in one of those that you're talking about. But I like doing the manual ones too, though. You know, I just wouldn't go as far.
I'm just fucking with you. I would do the manual one too. I would.
Yeah. I mean, we're in our neighborhood here. We have some really nice trails. We could really get into that.
I look like a donkey on a bike, man.
Nobody sees you on these trails, Fouad. These trails are like, they're kind of hidden. It's okay. I don't want to see you.
I'll keep riding my motorcycle and I'll do my training at the gym. You can ride your.
Yeah.
I think
that's another thing.
What?
I want to start doing some more cardio.
Well,
I don't want to get into too much detail.
I didn't tell you, but I started today working out with my brother in the morning.
Oh yeah, cardio.
But they're like kind of cardio workouts, because they're like everything's 15 to 20 reps, and I don't go heavy.
Okay.
So like this morning we did a pull workout, but I was drenched and there's no breaks. It's just like he goes, I go, he goes, I go. It's like
Which brother?
my oldest brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we went at 8:30 this morning. We trained for like an hour and a half. And but I don't think it'll affect my night workouts because it's opposite body parts and they're really light. It's light training.
Is it like, do you even get any blood moving? Like you got a pump off the?
Oh,
off
I
these
got
sets?
I got a crazy pump.
You do?
Yeah, but it's not like one of those pumps that lasts forever because
Yeah.
it's not heavy weight, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not doing it to build muscle. I'm doing it more just for the cardio impact of it.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
And I'm doing it to motivate him because I wanted him to weight train.
yeah, okay.
So
Who designed the program?
I have Nick doing it.
Okay.
Nick so I'm gonna go with him Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'm gonna do cardio on the off days.
Okay. Yeah, I want to start doing cardio. I don't think Tony would listen to this part of the podcast, but we were having sex the other night, and I was so fucking winded that it affected my performance. So, and I didn't want to let her on. I just told her it was hot in here. But I'm embarrassed, man. Like fuck, like I let my cardio get that bad.
Well, I've been there, but not when you're lean.
I know, but not good cardio shape though.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Yeah, you know that. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't want to do cardio to be lean. I don't care about that. It's just for better cardio.
No, I know, but the way I'm trying to relate, and the only time I can relate like that was when I was my heaviest. Like when I'm 300 fucking pounds, I'm like, okay, I'm not planking for fucking. I'm not doing missionary for fucking 10 minutes. Like that's not happening. Like
yeah, like I can play, like I can go outside and play basketball with the kids. I don't get winded. Like yeah, I might get winded a little bit if I'm running hard for a few minutes.
No,
it's
that's different. Yeah,
but like
you play basketball, you run a little bit, you stop, you run a little bit, you stop.
Right.
When
I'm yeah, exactly, Fouad. Exactly. Even a little quicker sometimes.
It's like sprinting. Like how long could you sprint for?
It's a high intensity. It's a very high intensity activity for a short period of time. But yeah, afterwards, I remember I was thinking to myself, like, I'm almost a little bit embarrassed right now. Like,
you should be.
I know I should be ashamed. Like, I can't even shape up the fuck.
Well, I don't want to. I was going to ask you something. Forget it. Yeah,
there's no problem with my erection if that's what you're gonna.
No,
you're gonna ask me that. That was fine. It was just I was winded.
Yeah. Well, we'll do some cardio. You know what? I got to tell you. I'll tell you the honest truth. So when I was trying to jog, that's the best I've felt in since before I can remember bodybuilding. Because ever since I started bodybuilding, I always got heavy. You remember even from my second or third year, I used to get up to like 280, even if it was like not good 280. So I've forgotten what it felt like to breathe okay and like to have your heart rate not be at 80 fucking beats resting.
Yeah, right.
When I was jogging, my heart rate actually dropped 10 beats. My blood pressure came down. I stopped taking my blood pressure medication. I remember feeling light on my feet. Like even though I was still 255, 260, I remember just feeling light on my feet. Like I would go up and down the stairs really easily.
You feel good.
So I don't know. Maybe we should start fucking jogging, even if it affects our leg workouts a little bit.
Yeah, jogging on a treadmill.
Instead of jogging every day, maybe we'll just jog every other day or something.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to start something though on a regular basis.
Because I'll tell you, or you know what I could do? I could we don't have any bikes at the gym, but I can invest in a couple like stationary bikes so we can or recumbent bikes so we can like crank the intensity up on.
Well, what do you call those bikes? Those assault bikes?
No. I don't want an assault bike. I want something we're actually going to use. Like if we use a recumbent bike, the ones you sit on with the back.
Yeah.
But we crank up the intensity, it'll still be hard.
Is that a cardio workout though? Because it's only like your legs moving.
Well, why wouldn't it be? Your heart rate's still going to get up to 140.
I just thought, when your whole body's into the movement, like, if you're doing like stairs or something.
I'm not. Well, your stairs are still just your legs.
Or even running, you're pumping your arms too.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it doesn't matter personally. If you're talking about health, if you're talking about like heart rate, blood pressure, and just overall health, I think as long as your heart rate is up to 120, 140, 150, or you're doing some kind of interval training, you're going to develop that endurance.
Okay, regardless of the.
No, I don't think you need to. We're training with weights to get our arms moving, and our legs moving. Like we don't need.
Yeah, true.
The cardio is strictly just to get your heart rate up, sustain it. Like the goal when I was running was, I asked Ben one time. I'm like, I'd like to be able to run and have my heart rate not go up so high. And Ben was like, that's not what your goal should be. Ben was like, if your heart rate goes up to 150, that's okay He's like, what you want to do is try and run at 150 for as long as you can. He's like, you want to
get conditioned to it.
Yeah, he's like, you want to get comfortable running
Yeah.
with your heart rate beating that fast and not having to stop.
Okay.
So I was looking at it wrong. I was looking at it like I thought the more I ran, the lower my heart rate would be while I was running, which I think would happen eventually.
You have to run faster to get 150 at some point.
At some point, yeah. But I think what Ben's saying is if you can condition yourself to sustain a heart rate of 140 or 150 in that jogging pace, that's really what the endurance you're looking for.
Do you think on a recumbent bike you could get your heart rate that high?
The only reason I don't think so is because, or not that I don't think so, I think you can, but the only reason I think it would be more detrimental is because you're going to have to put the resistance up, in which case your legs are going to get extremely pumped.
It's going to turn into more than just a cardio workout. Then.
Yeah, it's going to turn into like you're going to start to burn up some leg muscle. It's going to be even worse than running, I think.
Yeah. So probably the easiest way for us to get our heart rate up would be running.
The only other thing we could do though is if we're on a bike, recumbent bike, we could do a lot of like, instead of doing long duration shit, we could do 20-minute interval sessions.
To hit training.
That would really like help our endurance and help our health. But also not get us too crazy on eating up away at our leg muscle.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's. I'd like to figure that out though at some point soon.
Well, listen, I know you're not a big runner, so what we can do for the time being is you can jump on the step mill.
Yeah.
And I'll stay on the treadmill and I'll jog, and you can fucking do some interval stuff on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the step mill gets my heart rate up fast.
No, for sure it does. The step mill does everybody's heart rate up fast because
especially if you don't hold on. If you got your arms pumped too.
It's not fucking it's not easy.
Well, let's start scheduling some time in every day then, like after a workout if we have to. If not, like ideally a different time of the day, but if we have to at the end of the workout.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. That's Meatballs and Hummus. And
that's it. What's this episode now?
I think this is episode 5. I think of Meatballs and Hummus.
Yeah.
I think Brandon's working on a jingle for us.
I think
he's going to use it's Meatballs and Hummus time.
What those little sound bites you saw in there? I got that ridiculous. Must be great.
Anyway, okay.
Okay, I'll call you tomorrow, Fouad.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, see you, man.